great. It was great. Salads.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Black Sky Legion episode 144, an interstellar visitor. You're going to find out as the show goes on that can be used for a couple of the subjects we're going to talk about tonight. That was Pomplamoose, Call Me, for the opening song. Support these awesome artists, sub to their channel, buy their tracks and merch, go see them live. The link is in the show notes, but let me post it right here as well for anyone who's interested in the live chat. Go and sub to their shit, because it is awesome. All right. Let's see here. I'm your host, Kai Zen, and I am cracking open a Central Waters Brewing Company Raspberry Kringle Stout Brewer's Reserve to go with this bottle of Old Money rye whiskey that I have from 6 and 20. And I'm feeling good. It is a Friday night. It's Friday, August the 19th. And we're going to talk about some cool shit. With us tonight, we've got Tweak74 in the house. Say hello to the beautiful people, Tweak.
Hey, everybody. Nice to be back with you this week.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. What are you drinking tonight, Tweak? What kind of coffee you got?
Oh, I've got some cinnamon vanilla flavored coffee.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. And we have Chad LOSAN in the house from the Star Citizen Research Group. Chad, what you drinking, brother?
I'm drinking a antioxidant fusion Kula watermelon.
Ooh, okay. I'm hearing that Tweaked is a little low, so let me turn Tweaked up a little bit more here. Let's see. Say something, Tweaked.
Hello. Do I sound better now?
Yep, just speak up just a little bit, because I've got you at 180%, and you're still sounding a little bit. Oh, wait, it says everyone is bad? Everyone's mic is bad? They all are so far. Hold on. How do I sound? Am I low? Because if so, I can... Nope, Discord partners are bad. Sounds like a million miles away. All right. Oh, everybody but me is low. All right, I can fix this. Hold on. Give me a second. If I go to this and boost that, and then go here to settings... settings, hold on, we're going to do this. We're going to output. All right, why don't we try this out for size. Chad, say something real quick.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
How are you?
Okay. Guys, just Chad good. Now let's go with ELIX.
Any better?
All right, let's go with ELIX. Just say 5 words.
Hey, how am I sounding?
Okay, everybody's saying still low, still far away. What the? Hold on. Hold on.
My Discord updated.
Still low. Okay, hold on. We're going to take 2 minutes, and we're going to fix this real quick. I got you guys. I'm boosted all of Discord, talking into a pillow almost. Wow. Hold on. We have to sort this. Let's go to this. Let me go to my sound settings. Open sound settings. We're going to troubleshoot this live. We'll do it live. Let's see. Manage sound devices. And then go to system. Nope. We're going to device properties and then system spatial sound left right 100%. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. You know what? So if it's coming through, you guys sound loud enough on Discord, so it's got to be a problem with OBS. So let's go to chat. Let's go to settings. Let's see. Chat is at 100%. Let me go to this. Monitor off. All right. We're going to figure this out. 2 seconds, guys. I'm really sorry. This is so bad. God, why do I have to be... Why does this have to be the day that Wolf's not here? I suck at open sound settings. Everything is at 100%. System. Just 1 second. Sound devices. Jesus Christ. Settings. System. Sound. Bluetooth sound control panel. Here we go. Speakers. Let me go down to game sample system. Properties. System levels. 100%. Advanced. I don't know what to do, guys. It's at 100%. Properties, drivers, details, events. All right, I'm going to just blast my own eardrums out by cranking up Discord to like 300%, and let's see if that fixes it. Settings, Discord, sound, advanced. Nope. Voice and video, sound. All right. Let's try this. There's like, keep in mind, there's like a 20-30 second delay, but starting from now, let me know if it's loud or not. Chad, say something.
Walla Washington.
ELIX, say something.
Something, hey.
Fist, say something.
Hello.
All right. No good. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nope, Chad, ELIX changed nothing. Still low.
That's bizarre.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
Hey, hold on. Chat, does it sound like you're hearing it through Kai's microphone? Like feeding back through his headphones into the microphone?
Oh, shit! Hold on. I think I know. Okay, I think I might know what that is. Let's see. Hold on. So under
Good idea.
if we go, all right, hold on. Let me open up OBS. I think maybe I know what that is. Chat. Yeah, okay, so that's not showing up at all. So
I know Windows 10 did an update recently, and whenever Windows 10 updates, it fixes where it sounds like they do streaming.
okay, say something?
Hey, I'm talking.
No, that's not it. It's not coming through. Hold on. So it's not coming through there.
I mean, it could be,
Wait, just stop. Give me a minute. I can see what the problem is now. I just got to figure out how to get to it. Properties. Chat. It's saying that it's seeing it. Live on air. Voice activity. Say something now.
Hey, let's check
Nope.
the volume.
Nope, that's just coming through my mic. God damn it. So why is chat? Say something else. I got to look at another thing.
1, 2, 3.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not coming through. So the second bar that's supposed to be audio from the Discord source is not coming through at all. So let's go here. Let's go here to this and see if this setting is wrong. Setting my account, voice. Jesus Christ, this is so bad. Input, output device. We're going to change that to chat. Say something now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Does this thing work at all?
It's coming through there, but it's not coming through in OBS. So I can see now. So let's see. Properties. SC green room voice activity is listed as on. Monitor and output. All right, hold on. Why the fuck is this not? Audio device enabled in OB. Yeah. But this was all set up by somebody way smarter than me, so I'm trying to figure it out. Chat, mic, stream chat feed, chat. Green room voice activity. It's listed as on. It's at 100%. Live on air voice activity. Say something now.
Hey, let's see if it picks up.
No. Why the hell do we have no sound? We can't do a show without sound. Settings. Audio. This is killing me. Do what? Stream my screen? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. Escape. Let's see. Screen. Share my screen. And we're going to use screens. This screen has all the devices going. Go live. So, in Discord, my audio, voice audio, is showing that it's going to chat for the output. Let me change this to default real quick. All right, and then general. See right here. See this right here. The on the mixer, the one that says chat GLXR Go XLR Helicon. That's supposed to be. I'm supposed to see how on my mic I'm seeing the squiggles. There I'm seeing no bars moving.
So let's click on the cog wheel for chat TC Helicon. Okay, let's go to property. So, no, you don't want to. I don't think you want to monitor it.
Yeah, then I'll hear double.
Double, right? So scroll back up. So let's click on chat versus that part. That is going to go.
Wait. I think this is it. I think that's supposed to say this.
Let's see.
And then... All right, let's close that. Say something? Nope, no lines.
Okay, so go back to it.
Was it there?
Okay, yep, that's fine. Go global settings. Okay, audio monitor. Okay, wait. That's your audio monitor. Go to source settings. Okay, so wait. Scroll back down. No, go back to global settings. Go back down. Okay. Let's look at, see where it says desktop audio device 2. Select TC Helicon, right? Hello. Testing 1, 2. Don't see anything, no?
Nope.
Hello.
Nope.
Okay, still no. Okay.
What the hell, man? Wait, look, now I have 2 chats showing there. Why do I have chat twice there?
But it's all right. But right now, let me tell you,
Okay.
Discord with a cogwheel in Discord, right? Okay, go to voice and video. Select output device, right? And then put that to the chat. Right. Hello, hello, hello. See, there we go. Cool. So now they should be hearing us now.
All right, can you guys hear us now?
Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2.
Hey, chat, how's it going?
Here we go.
We're good. All right. What the?
So what happened is this. In your global outputs, just so you know for next time, your global outputs, it was said disabled.
Okay.
So you had to re-enable it to say, this is what I need for that second output.
And why do we have 2 chat? Whatever, we'll figure that out after the show.
Doesn't matter. Right now,
Yeah.
we got what we got. You
All
know what I
right.
mean?
So starting over, take 2. Here we go. Okay. So let's move this back up here where it goes so I can do the show. Let's stop streaming in Discord. All right. All right, guys, take 2. So with us tonight, we've got Chad LOSAN in the house. Chad, what are you drinking? And say hello to the beautiful people. Chad? Are you kidding me? Maybe Chad stepped away. ELIX, say hello. Okay, are you guys just fucking with me now? So nobody's talking? Anyone in the panel, say something. What the hell happened? Hold on. Recording booth. Kai, rejoin voice. Oh.
This way, if Star
There
Citizen can
we
be an
go.
alpha, we can have problems too.
Welcome back.
I clicked
There
away or
we go.
something? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
When I moved the thing, I clicked okay. All right. So Chad, what are you drinking tonight? Jesus
I'm
Christ.
drinking a bi antioxidant infusion, Kula watermelon.
All right. And ELIX is drinking some pretentious Japanese whiskey. Fist, what are you
Yep,
drinking?
that's right.
Hi, I'm drinking whatever you're drinking right now. 'Cause
Beautiful.
I love it.
Jesus fucking Christ. Pops, what you drinking tonight, brother?
Water and coriander.
There you go. And SHADOWWYVERN, what you got tonight, brother?
Water.
All right. And Tweaked is drinking some nice coffees. All right. Let's take 2 seconds and go through all of the people that have put up with this sound check bullshit and call some people out. Dunkalora, hello, hello. Stratobrick, Misfit, Chad, Tweaked, and ELIX. A. Norton, hello, hello. Fistaface, Pops in Space, me, it's me. Let's see. Fast Card, hello, brother. Captain Lads, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Papa Soul Ripper 101. P Kid Wombat. Wombat. Let's see. Shady Fazy, hello, hello. Kinatas, hello, that's a cool name. Going through. I don't want to miss anybody. You guys put up with so much waiting. I want to call people out. Lots of repeats. Mr. Minnesota Vikings. Hello, hello. Chimpy McMonkey. That's a great name. Trey York. Hello, sir. We got... Going down, scrolling. Commander Classified. Axe. Hello to both of you. Seems like we got everybody. All right. And let's just make sure we didn't miss out anybody over here. We got the same people. Yep. We got, yes. All the names we called out already. Called out. All right. Looks like we got it. Welcome. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties starting off, but I'm an idiot, so that's what you deal with. All right, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about some really cool shit. We've got an exciting mission to study the first interstellar object we have access to, review of Season 3 of For All Mankind, no spoilers, an in-depth review of Icarus' first cohort, The Black Cloud, an amazing book that if you haven't heard about, you need to get. Is something happening in Elite? A little bit of No Mansky, and some Star Citizen news. We're late. Fuck the plugs. Subscribe if you want. Who fucking cares? Real life science. On January 8th, 2014, at 17:05 hours and 34 seconds UTC, a meteorite less than a half a meter in diameter labeled CNEOS 2014-0108 crash landed on Earth. In April of this year, government officials confirmed that the meteor was not of this solar system, but rather was an interstellar object. Let me pull up here an asset to play for you guys. Boop, 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 in the background there while we talk. All right. Did that work? I think it's... Yeah, there we go. It's playing with a delay. The meteor was first determined to be an interstellar in origin by Amir Siraj of Harvard University, working in conjunction with his advisor, Professor Abraham Avi Loeb. They published on the matter for review, and Siraj later wrote an article for Scientific American on the subject. What you're seeing in the background here is silent B-roll of one of my favorite content creators on YouTube. His name is Anton Petrov. In 2019, he did a video on this talking about Siraj's paper, but basically the larger mainstream scientific community didn't accept the paper. So let me explain why here. Even though the original paper met with scrutiny when submitted for scientific review because it used data collected by a NASA database that contained some information not available for general review, U.S. Space Force Lieutenant General John Shaw tweeted on April 6th of this year, officially confirming their findings, and said that the velocity estimate reported to NASA is sufficiently accurate to indicate an interstellar trajectory. Here is a link to in chat, and it'll be in the show notes, to the paper that Siraj and Loeb published, that did for Scientific America talking about it, called Spy Satellites Confirmed Our Discovery of the First Meteor from Beyond Our Solar System. Now, here, Asset 3, is the actual document that the tweet from Space Force Command linked to, the image of. That is not the right image. Jesus Christ. Technical issues everywhere tonight, guys. Let's see here. 3. Image 3, which is not listed there. All right, whatever. We're going back to the B-roll. Fuck it. Here's a link to the document so that you have it. Right here, Control C. Comedy of errors tonight, guys. There's a link to the tweet with the document there so you can see it from yourself. In addition to the general curiosity of this being the first known interstellar meteorite to crash into the Earth, there are many other peculiarities that make this meteorite worthy of study. The event of the meteor making contact with the Earth's atmosphere was captured on observatory cameras, and the object was tracked by satellites, so the following facts are documented and not disputable. Number 1, the meteor made contact with the Earth's atmosphere at over 45 kilometers per second. The average meteor making contact with the Earth's atmosphere is around 17 kilometers per second. Number 2, both the speed and the trajectory of impact do not match the possible data sets for objects from this solar system. Number 3, the luminosity of the contact event was far too bright and the contact was far too explosive, proportional to the very small size of the object, for the meteor to have been ice or a simple hunk of comet rock. The only explanation for the contact event characteristics would be a very dense metallic object. Number 4. In fact, to date, our observations of the contact event cannot be explained for an object that small traveling at that speed, provided that level of disturbance. The object, roughly the size of a small washing machine, created a disturbance of over 100 tons of TNT, approximately over 1% of the yield of the Hiroshima bomb. Even if the meteor were comprised entirely of iron or magnesium or any of the other most dense mineral deposits known to us, the level of disturbance measured should not have been caused. That's directly from the paper published by Dr. Loeb. And number 5, based on the level of disturbance measured in the luminosity of the event and calculated explosive force of impact in the atmosphere, the projected weight of the 0.5 meter in diameter sized meteor would have to be approximately 460 metric tons or greater. This object in many ways exhibits some of the peculiar characteristics, anomalous trajectory and inconsistent velocity, hyperreflectivity of sunlight off the object, etc., of the second interstellar object we observed traveling through our solar system a few years later, Oumuamua. None of the above stated 5 points of discussion are disputed by any of the scientists who have reviewed the data, nor the U.S. government, who kept the data classified from January of 2014 until officially acknowledging it over 8 years later, just this April, when they publicly tweeted a release of a document that had been privately shared to scientists the month before. Dr. Loeb's official statement on the object is, quote, "The interstellar meteor appears to be both rare in composition, tougher than all known meteorites, including those iron, and in speed. There continues to be much back and forth arguments in the scientific community over the odd characteristics of Oumuamua, but the sad fact is that we most likely have missed our opportunity to conclusively answer the disputes on this subject. CNEOS 2014, however, crashed down in the Pacific Ocean, and we are over 99.999% certain of the 10-mile grid location where this small meteorite hit the water. That location is exactly 1.3 degrees south, 147.6 degrees east, roughly 300 kilometers north of Manus Island, a small island off the coast of Papua New Guinea. Right there. You can see the image on your screen. Dr. Avi Loeb has put together a proposal for a mission to recover the material from the meteorite under the Galileo project, and has already raised over a third of the monies needed to execute on that project as soon as possible. They estimate the study will cost a very conservative $1.6 million. The proposed Harvard study intends to troll the approximated impact site using ships towing magnets along the seabed for 10 days. They predict that they could generate data from isotopes from any fragments as small as 0.1 millimeters across on the dense metallic object. They strongly expect, based on the density of the object, that it must be ferromagnetic, and this plan should yield minute amounts of the materials contained at the impact. They are further confident that existing technology should allow them to easily separate any anomalous material from outside our solar system from the standard Earth metals. There are only 3 possible explanations for the characteristics of this object. Number 1, some previously unknown metallic mineral, not as yet found in our solar system, is what this object is made of. Number 2, this object is made of some previously known metallic mineral that has in some way been modified by unknown effects either within or outside our solar system that cause its properties to be affected in a way we do not as yet understand. So we know that this thing, whatever it is, came from outside our solar system. And we know that it's way more dense than any metals that we know of. So it's either a new material that we don't know of, or an existing material that whatever. Maybe it's a hunk of iron, but it flew too close to a black hole and it absorbed weird radiation that made it more dense, or close to a magnetar, or close to who knows? Like, it could be that it went close to a white dwarf or something. Either of these above natural occurring explanation would provide groundbreaking science that could profoundly alter our understanding of minerals forever, and could potentially be of immeasurable value in future manufacturing of superdense alloys. The above two possibilities account for 99.99999% of the possible data sets. But we cannot ignore the potential, however unlikely, that there is also the 0.00001% chance that these oddities could be explained by option 3. The object could provide proof of some non-naturally occurring material, which would shock the world and provide proof of non-Earth-based intelligence. This may seem to be a potential so slight as to not even be worthy of mention. However, the peculiarities of this object do demand that the possibility be included. Any of the possible outcomes listed above should make the $1.6 million cost of this project laughably small. The project is, in fact, so slightly priced based on the potential value of the science return that I find myself highly skeptical as to why the United States government kept the matter undisclosed to the scientific community and general public for over 8 years. Now, as I said, back in 2018, Suraj did his calculations at Harvard with their team, and they said, hey man, this thing came from outside of our solar system. But the United States government refused to disclose the trajectory data that they had publicly from their spy satellites, and it wasn't until over 8 years later where they're like, oh yeah, this came from outer space, from not our solar system. So I've linked to you the B-roll for this is the video back in 2019 that Anton Petrov did on the original Suraj paper. I've linked the Scientific American article, Spy Satellites Confirmed Our Discovery of the First Meteor from Beyond the Solar System. I've linked to you the tweet of the United States Government Space Command confirming it. Here are several other links from the Galileo project. So if you want to donate and say like, hey, I want to chip in a couple bucks to this project, there's a link where you can donate. There's a link to the main Harvard website that has all the Galileo project information. Here's a link to, let's see here. Here's a link to the Event Horizon interview. An interstellar object landed on Earth, declassified by U.S. Space Command. Universe Today's article, an interstellar meteor struck the Earth in 2014 and now scientists want to search for it at the bottom of the ocean. Fraser Cain's interview, Oumuamua, Aliens and Astrophysics with Dr. Avi Loeb. The Angry Astronauts video on it, Harvard about to search for alien tech in the Pacific. I want to be very clear. That alien tech thing, it is a potential possibility, but I'm not in any way claiming that's what this is. Even if it's just, hey man, we found a new mineral we didn't know it existed. It's 100 times more dense than iron. We can now use it to make spaceships or cars or whatever and change the face of materials science on Earth. That would be amazing, even if it had nothing to do with aliens. WHYY Public Radio's the first known interstellar meteor hit Earth in 2014. Along with Lex Friedman's interview with Dr. Avi Loeb. That one is fantastic. And Brian Keating's interview with Dr. Avi Loeb and Dr. Eric Weinstein. So here are the links to all of that. The links will also be in the show notes and in the Discord under the Real Science channel. Go and check them out. There you go. I think I just blasted all of those notes into chat. So, guys, can you believe this shit? A meteor hit Earth. It's in the ocean. We know where to go find it. We know how to go find it. This shit is kind of amazing and could change life for forever. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, it could if it's the material is different. than what we have in our metallurgy. It could change a lot of things. Yes.
I mean, an object less than half a meter in diameter that weighs over 460 tons. That seems pretty dense.
It should explode in our atmosphere.
Yeah. What do you guys think? ELIX?
Yeah, that just like what the fuck could that even be? Like that's like I'm just trying to imagine what like a lump of pure iron like that weighs. And if it's not pure iron, then what can it be? Kind of
thing? I can guarantee you that a half a meter in diameter weighs considerably less than 460 metric tons. That's the only reason why some people, Angry Astronaut is like, hey, it could be alien tech. I'm not saying it's alien tech, but just the sheer amazeballs density of it makes you wonder, like, could this be something crazy like that? Fist, Pops, what do you think?
It's cool. Go ahead, Pops.
I don't know. To me, it's something, but until the jury is in, the jury's not in. So
yeah, to be very clear, I strongly, if I were to be asked to bet money, my money would be this is not an alien piece of anything. This is a rock from space, but we know it's from outside of our solar system, and we know that it's way more dense than anything we know of. So like, let's check it out, right? Could be some cool shit.
Yeah. I don't think it's alien.
Right.
It's alien as far as maybe something we've never seen. But it, as it is, if it's something mineral we've never seen before, okay, we have this small piece of it. Mm-hmm. That's all we got.
There you go.
The
all
chances of getting more of it.
But now you know something exists that we didn't know existed a month ago or something. That changes everything.
That is exactly the right point, Tweak. Because for Pops, if you take that rock and they take it under a molecular microscope and they see how the bonds, because basically the difference. So a diamond is literally just carbon. It's literally just the same thing as a lump of coal, but it's been squeezed under such pressures that it makes the molecular bonds form differently, and you go from a lump of coal to a diamond. So like, if we were to see, Tweak's exactly right, if we were to see a weird rock, a weird piece of space rock that it's like, okay, we're going to call this, tweaked enium, and we say like, okay, it's kind of like platinum, or it's kind of like platinum, yeah, or titanium, but it's like 1,000 times more dense, and the only way you can make it that way is, by doing it at like some super low temperature or whatever. We can recreate that with something, like we can figure out how to reverse engineer it and make some cool shit, is what I'm saying. What do you think?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did Fist
remind me again what the mass, the estimated mass is of this thing?
So based on this is math done based on the disturbance in the atmosphere of the entry event. It says, quote, significantly more than 460 metric tons.
Okay, so here's the fun one about that. If you take the density of iron and you take a half meter sphere of it, that should weigh roughly 36 tons.
Okay, so that's 10 times more.
Only 36, yeah.
More than 10 times more.
Or like roughly 10 times more dense than iron. What the fuck?
Yeah. So again, I get some people are jumping on the bandwagon of we found a piece of an alien ship. I'm not that guy. I'm saying we most likely found a rock, but a very cool rock that we should study and learn how to use, because if we can figure out a way to make, our houses or our
obtanium.
If we can find a way to make our Mars bases or moon bases out of this shit, it would be, amazing. So yeah, all right. I think Pop's got to go, but Fist waited for Pop. So Fist, what do you think?
No, I mean it's like like you guys said, it's to me it sounds cool. But then again, like, I'm gonna echo you guys' points. We got to find out what it is, and jury's out for it.
Yep. All right. And that takes us SHADOWWYVERN. What do you think, man?
I think they should stump up the money and go and study it, because if we don't, the other team will, and the chances are it will turn out to be the best thing since sliced bread if they do it. So we should definitely get in there and get it done before anybody else does.
Like I said, the thing that makes me a little skeptical, hippo eyes, isn't that like, oh shit, this could be something amazing. Regardless of whether it's alien, like, it's little green men or it's just a rock, I don't care. It's still cool. Whatever it is, it's interesting. But the thing that makes me skeptical, hippo eyes, is that if the U.S. government sat on that now, if it only takes $1.6 million to go find it, and the U.S. government sat on it for over 8 years, I'm starting like, okay, is this some shit where like America and China and Russia already grabbed up pieces of this fucker and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll tell you about it. Because, yeah, have you noticed, like, within the last, like, 4 or 5 months, just within the last several months, like, the U.S. government is starting to, like, declassify shit about, like, UFO, or they call them UAPs now, whatever, and I'm not making any comments on whether, I believe this or I believe that. I'm not, but, like, just recently, they're starting to openly talk about shit that they had kept secret for, like, decades. So like, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Tweak, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, even everybody has to study it, because if this is something truly from another galaxy, even though it's a rock that's been floating through space for God knows how many thousands or millions of years, it could still have foreign germs or something carried on it that totally reacts wrong in our atmosphere or water or whatever. This is something unlike anything we've ever been able to experience before. They need to get to it.
Tweaked has given us the origin story for Godzilla. All right, cool. So that's a thing that I came across. I'm very suspicious why the United States government kept it secret for almost a decade, why they're telling us about it now, but I'm super pumped for Galileo Project. I'm super pumped for Harvard to get out there. What they're talking about, they're not saying we need to find, it's not like they're saying, hey man, this thing is a rock a half a meter in diameter and we're going to find that rock. No, they're saying the rock, probably chunks of it blew up when it hit the water so fast and it probably dispersed over a several mile radius. We're going to drag a magnet along. We're going to end up with a couple of tons of normal existing magnetic materials, whether it be iron or copper or nickel or whatever, but we're going to filter that out. We're going to isotope check it. And if there's one piece of whatever the hell this thing is that is less than 0.1 millimeters in width, we will be able to find it. So, yeah. Yes, correct. I see in the chat Dunkel Aura saying that he has Googled and he's saying that basically this has to be over 3 times more dense than osmium, which is about as dense as we know how to get. So we know that it came from outside our solar system. We know that it has some bizarre characteristics. I think we should see what we can see. Like, do you understand? Going outside of going to another solar system to be able to look at what materials they have, that could be hundreds of years away from us, if ever. The fact that we just happen to win the lottery and have a rock land on our rock that we can study. $1.6 million? Are you fucking kidding? We spend more than that on school lunch programs. Like, yeah, that should be... And again, that's what makes me so suspicious, is like, there's no way the United States government hasn't already gone in there and fucking looked through all that shit. Like, that's the only thing that makes me suspicious. Like, I don't know, whatever. But that's our real life science thing. I put off the small rocket launch providers because I really wanted to cover that. I think that this is legitimately a thing that could change the world. It could change the face of material sciences. Not even counting on if it's an alien, intelligently made, whatever. If it is, okay, well, that's a whole other... Okay, that's 1,000 times more profound. That changes everything. But just the fact that we know it comes from outside our solar system, we know where to find it, and we know how to find it, let's get at it. Anybody else got anything on this before we move on to the other thing a week? All right. Next up, thing a week, TV shows. Season review of For All Mankind, Season 3. It's been out for over a week. It ended a week ago. It's been out for a week now. We are not going to do spoilers, so no one has to I'm closing it real quick. We're not going to do spoilers, but we're going to just talk generally, broad terms. Who all from the people on the panel here have seen now Season 3 of For All Mankind? I know you have, Tweaked, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Damn, you guys are all missing out on the best show on TV. That's crazy. All right, so me and Tweaked. So the final episode had so many twists of wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
There was 4 things, and then the last couple of seconds,
Your jaw's on the floor.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, that happened? But it's so hard to do this without spoilers. Let me ask you, how would you rate Season 3 compared to Season 1 and 2, and then compared to anything else on TV?
I would say it's at least as good, if not better, than Season 1 and 2. For All Mankind is one of the few shows that consistently never drops in quality. The story has been fast-paced. The characters are always interesting. Mm-hmm. It's changing. It's kind of unpredictable, but it stays really, really good. And it's hard for me to say it's my favorite show on television necessarily, but it's certainly up there. And not for nothing, my wife also loves this show, and she doesn't really love space things quite as much as I do. So
I also find it interesting.
A great character show.
I agree with everything you said. I also find it super, super interesting that with regard to social whatever issues, this show is an alternate history where basically black people, women, minorities of various different types were included in the space program much earlier than happened in reality, in our system. And I very much see Chris, I forget, what's her name in... Shit, I always think of her as Chris because I listen to her podcast as well. What's her name? The commander of the Mars mission in Season 3. Danielle Poole. Yes, I see Danielle Poole. Honestly, the way that Ed was the core, leadership role of the space program in Seasons 1 and 2 as a white man. Danielle Poole is an African American woman, and I see it as very interesting that, to me, if you're going to jump 10 years into the future of For All Mankind, who's going to be running the space program for NASA? It's going to be a black woman. I think that's interesting. I think that has something to say as far as maybe balancing out some of the scales of things that we see in reality where, I don't know, I don't want to get too social justice-y, but I think it's important.
Well, I think what it is the show started with a premise of what would have happened if we didn't stall the space program like we did. Because once we landed on the moon, it pretty much got shut down. We didn't stretch our legs. We didn't try to do a lot of new things for a long time. And this show changed that. They said, if we lost, how would it have changed things? And one of the ways it changed things is by getting that kind of acceptance earlier, which allows more brilliant people to be involved, because there's brilliant people of all types and colors and races in this world. and they just put the best people there and see how much farther ahead they are. They're on freaking Mars.
That's a good point. Absolutely. And they're on Mars in 1994, 1995.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good point. All right. For All Mankind, it's on Apple TV. It costs like $8, $7, whatever a month. You can literally go do the free Apple TV 1-week trial and binge 3 seasons of the show in a week. If not, feel free to steal it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not making any judgments. I'm not your dad. But like, also maybe if you really like it, feel free to subscribe and give them a few bucks. It's really good. So yeah, support the show. It has a very good message. I think it has a very hopeful message. It has a very interesting message. Some of the stuff that are talked about, whether we're talking about the Buran ship that the Soviets never got going properly, or Nerva, which the Americans, or Sea Dragon, which the Americans never got going properly, or basically they lay out a lot of the things from the Buzz Aldrin cycler, the idea of having a Mars like shuttle bus that comes back and forth, or the idea of Dr. Zubrin's Mars Direct plan, that when he was working for Martin Marietta, like there's so many good concepts of hard science that are in this show that should be looked at. Like, I don't know. Check the show out. I think you'll dig it. I just realized.
No, Chimpy. It's not a Netflix show. It is on Apple TV.
Yes, Chimpy. It's Apple TV. Like I said, buy it, steal it. I'm not judging you, but watch it.
There are a couple other good sci-fi shows on Apple TV as well.
Hell yeah. So. Not even just sci-fi. There's some good shows in general. There's some really good shit on Apple TV. So go and check it out. Let's move on to games. All right, I'm going to play you now. Oh, hold on. Dig That's in my DMs. Let me see. Dig That, join a call. I can't talk to you right now. I'm on the middle of a show. Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Fist? Give Dig give him an invite to the server, and if he joins, I'll pull him down. He can join us mid-chat or whatever if he's watching the show live, because I definitely want to show him respects. He's welcome to join us. But yeah, I can't leave the show to do a personal call.
No problem.
Let's see.
Shout out to Dig That.
Yeah, shout out to Dig That, an amazing content creator for Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, and various other games. He's a fucking amazing guy. I'm just doing a show right now.
Yeah.
Under games,
Bedtime.
we've got Icarus, first cohort. Let's see. Somebody say something if Dig That joins, and I'll pull him into the channel because he's welcome. Icarus first cohort. Here is the trailer. We're gonna have an in-depth talk about this game because it's fucking amazeballs, and for $30 you need to get it. Here we go. Asset 4.
Really?
All right, Asset 5. I'm going to play this in the background just so you can see some of the amazing shit. Just to sum it up, this game gives you the freedom of what's that game? The little block game for kids?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. This game gives you the freedom of Minecraft to create whatever the fuck you want, but with good graphics. That is one aspect of this game, which is building. You can, in your private zone, prospect, whatever, your home zone, you can build anything you want. And actually, in the missions, you can build anything you want, but it wouldn't be worth it to waste the time to do that in the missions. In the missions, you're wanting to build efficiently, quickly, to get up to whatever you need to complete the task at hand, and then get out. Because anything you build in a mission, like that gets reset as soon as you take off. That's gone. It's dead. But in your private zone, you can build a castle, you can build a modern mansion, you can build this gorgeous shit as you're seeing on the screen. And like, all right, cool. It's there. And it'll stay for forever. And you can add on and change as the game goes on. Now, a couple things about this game. Number one, it's still in development. Every Friday, they release a new, like, here's the new whatever. It's week 36, and here's the new blah, blah, blah. They just released it today. You update it on Steam, and you get, today, what they added was a bunch of stuff with new armor attachments. So, armor that you craft in the game, you can add attachments that make you run faster, that make you be more efficient with your oxygen processing, makes you be more efficient with your water processing, gives you higher resistance to storm damage, gives you whatever, like all of these attachments. You can craft like 30 attachments, and it changes how your armor sort of reacts. They add in all the time new missions, new items, new benches, new whatever, new weapons, new game loops, new all of these things. In addition to that, one of the things that I really love about this game is you can have up to 8 people join in with you on any of the expeditions that you're doing. They call it prospects in this game. Some people would call it like a mission or a dungeon or an expedition, depending on what game you're coming from. But you can have up to 8 people join in. They join you. You don't have to have all 8 people in there to play it. Any one of you 8 can jump back in once you're in to the mission and like do some work. So you can do work by yourself, or you can do work with only 3 people online, or only 6 people online, or all 8 people online. It's super accommodating of letting a lot of people join in. It's super low key of if you don't have all 8 people, you don't have to have them all join in. Only one person can join in by themselves and do some work. Or 2 people, or 3 people, or 5 people, whatever. It's super free in how it lets you do missions. We did a mission just the other day it was me, Griff, Pops, and Fist. And the mission was you have to get from this forest zone to that desert zone. There's a mountain in your way, and they're like, I don't know, figure it out. Maybe build some ramps. You literally build ramps to go 30 stories up the side of a mountain, and then ramps going down the other 30 stories down the other side of the mountain to cheat and get over the barricade from one zone to another. This game has basically the freedom of... Shit, I'm blanking on the name again. What's it? Free space, free game, free cyber... What's the... Minecraft! This game has the freedom of Minecraft of do whatever the fuck you want, however the fuck you want to do it, but just accomplish the task. They don't drop in like other games where they're like, you have to accomplish the mission this way. They literally just say, we're dropping you in a pod. Your mission is get these 9 rocks, get these 80 rocks, get these 400 rocks, whatever. Figure it out. The rocks are over in this location. Get them however the hell you want to. However you choose to get there, whether it's speed running it, whether it's building up a fortified base, whether it's mining it with this kind of thing or that kind of thing, whether, like, they're just like, I don't know, figure it out. We're giving you goal, achieve X. You do the mission planning and do it however you want. I have done missions with Fist and Pops, I shit you not, that I was like, I did it like this. And they were like, wait, what? You did it like that? Whoa, that's weird. We did it like this. We came at the exact same mission from two completely opposite different ways. I built ladders and platforms. They built a ramp. But it doesn't matter. The game doesn't care. It just says accomplish the mission. In addition to that, there's, for each zone, let's call it, there's a bunch of missions on the map. You have to unlock them in order. So that gives you tons of things to do. You can do them entirely solo or with up to 7 of your friends for an 8-person experience. It's entirely up to you. You have a massive amounts of talents under, like, there's 3 branches. In those 3 branches, there's 3 trees. So you have 9 different talent point trees for your group-based talents that you can place, plus 3 talent trees for your solo talents. Your solo talents only work if you're solo, but your group talents work with up to 7 of your friends. And you don't have to choose between them. You get points as you level up for each of those, and you place them. And if you choose to play solo, you're dealing with A plus B. If you choose to play in a group, you're playing with only A as far as the pool of talents that you have. In addition to that, there's 4 tech trees, 4 levels of tech tree, and you unlock blueprints every time that you play. In addition to that, there's 2 major maps. There's 2 more on the way, that one's coming later this year and one's coming next year. And those maps you have to unlock like different sections to do. You can do the missions as many times as you like. You can repeat spam one over and over and over, or you can just mix and match and do them. You have to unlock, though, you unlock them in little clusters as you go. This game is session based with massive amounts of freedom in who you do what with and how you do it. It's super fantastic because unlike a lot of games where they're like, hey man, you can only have 4 of your friends for a total of 5 in the group, to do the mission. Well, you can have up to 8 people join in. And what if one of them says, oh shit, my wife just called. She needs me to help my kid with his math homework. I got to log off. Doesn't matter. It's not like everybody else has to stop. People can join and drop however the fuck they want, and it's completely fine. I did a mission earlier with Fist and Pops where they did all the work. I was doing show prep. I jumped in for like 20 minutes in the middle of their mission. Then I logged out because I had to get back to show prep. They kept doing whatever they were doing, got other people in and out to get them paid. All of us got paid all of the monies. And I wasn't even around when it finished because I was getting ready for the show. Like, this game has so much freedom in how you do what you do. And then there's a completely separate game for free that is the builder mode that is in your private area where there's no animals attacking you, there's no anything, and you can build what you've been seeing on the screen here for the last 5 minutes. Basically full-on Minecraft level of freedom of make whatever the fuck you want, but you can make an almost photorealistic looking mansion with indoor plumbing and water pumps and light fixtures and all of this shit. It is amazeballs. I'm going to link for you in the chat the Steam link for the game, the link for the trailer for the game, and the link for this, what you're seeing here, where this guy is building all of this shit in the builder mode, where nothing attacks you and you can just build whatever the hell you want. Now, the people that have been my teachers in this game, as I've played it, have been Fist to Face and Pops in Space. I know SHADOWWYVERN just bought the game like yesterday. So let's start with Fist and Pops. How about you tell us some of the stuff that you like about the game, some things you find interesting. And again, I want to repeat, every Friday, they just dropped one today. Every Friday they drop an update and there's videos out of, here's the new shit we just added to the game. There's 2 major expansions coming, one later this year and one in 2023. And more shit planned. Literally, 10 minutes before this show started, Fist linked me, Pops linked me like 50 pictures of cool shit that's coming, and Fist linked me a video of, hey, there's going to be a new lava zone that they're adding. So why don't we start with Pops, and then we'll move to Fist, and you guys take over the show and tell us some of the cool shit about this game.
Oh wow. Well, okay. Well, one of the things that I'm going to say this off the bat. It is in development still. It's I wouldn't call it an alpha or beta. I'm just gonna, like you said, like you mentioned, it's a weekly update. Now sometimes they do a lot of fixes and things like that, but that's in almost any game. They do listen to you. They do have a page where you can go on and you can give them suggestions and you can tell them different bugs and different things like that. Me and my son are in what's called the experimental brand. So we get it sometimes a couple of days earlier than it is to the general public. So we get to experience these things, ahead of time, test them out and see what's going on, report bugs, but they do listen to the community. You mentioned earlier about the solo points. It used to be that you had, let's say, 50 points. If you put points in the solo tree, let's say a half dozen, you were limited to that 50. You couldn't use them when other people joined in. You couldn't use them to become a better miner. Okay, so then now what they did was they listened to the community, and now what happens is, if you drop down, like you said, you're solo. So the game now looks at you as a solo player until someone else joins in you. Then your points will then now equate. You don't lose any points from the solo piece. You still have all of it. So, the whole point in that is that they did listen to the community, because the community complained and said, it's not fair. It's this and other. So you can put in suggestions and things like that. They have a lot of things coming up in the game. Like you said, there's supposed to be a volcanic zone that's supposed to drop sometime this year. We're supposed to get, right now we're fighting bears and wolves and monitor lizards, alligators and things like that, but they're supposed to come up with, I guess you would call them monsters, or alien. Yeah.
So
things like that.
So just to clarify, the way that it works is the premise behind the game is they try to terraform a planet, and they got halfway through it, and then there was some mistake or problems, and then as a side effect of those mistake or problems, a side issue, they found this shit. They found this ore to mine. They call it exotics in the game. It's like whatever. It's like unobtainium. It's like some super crazy shit from Avatar or whatever, where you want to go get this.
Right. Okay. What I'll do is I'll explain the premise of the game. There are factions that you can take jobs for, which, like you said earlier, it opens up different areas of the game as you progress. But you go down and you work on them, and if you complete the mission, you get paid. You get paid either a certain amount of what they call Ren, which most games would call gold. And if that particular mission contains exotic payments, then you get both. Okay. There. So it progresses. It gets harder. There's let's see. There's there's little cave worms, but then you get to fight a huge cave worm on some mission.
Yeah, in the desert.
Right.
Yeah. But to your point that you were just making before, the zones that we're already in are the zones that are sort of halfway or more than halfway terraformed, in that they kind of correspond to like the Riverlands, the desert, and the Arctic. But zones that are on the way that are coming are like some really alien zones with full on alien animals, right?
Exactly. And one of the there's a backstory. When the first group of prospectors came, you know what? I'll leave that story for my son. I don't want to take up everything. Anyway, what I was, saying that there's missions and you go on and you basically progress. You're hired by different companies to go down and do this particular mission, and you get paid. And then there's a store, because I wanted to touch on the store that you can now buy better gear. So then what happens? The game becomes a little bit more easier because you don't have to spend the time to gather materials to make yourself an armor suit. You come down with an armor suit. You come down with a better pickaxe. You come down with a better bow. You come down, other items, and they're looking to add much more in the game. But I'll pass it off to my son, and he can explain the backstory part of it.
Fist, take it away.
All right. Well, before I get into the backstory of the game, I like to say though, as beautiful as you guys are looking at this video, as it's beautiful, all the trims and all of the bells and whistles, the nice finished flooring and all of that stuff, Icarus is dangerous.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing. Because everything in Icarus can kill you. From storms to trees. Rocks, obviously that would be meaning you can land off, jump off of a cliff and land and die. Go ahead.
So let me ask you to clarify. When you say a tree can kill you, now I know where this answer is going, but I want you to clarify for those who have never played. How would a tree kill you in this game, Fist?
Well, let's say, for example, a storm, which is I was getting ready to get to. Storms, Icarus has storms, and storms can kill you. Icarus has what they call, you have Arctic winds in your
different
your snow.
categories.
You have different categories of storms. You have severe wind storms. Severe wind storms trees all around you basically will start coming down. And if you are not careful and looking as to what's going on around you, that tree can fall on you and lights out. So you have to be aware of all of these things at all times and be prepared. Because if you're not, then you can get caught out there in a situation and basically die. When you look at the frozen biome, the snow biome, it is a frozen tundra. And I mean literally it is just barren when it comes to resources, unless you're going into the caves. So you have to deal with, different elements as far as, the cold, heat, all of these things can kill you.
Lack of air, lack of water.
Exactly. Lack of air,
food.
lack of water, food.
Too much storm exposure, or also Fist, because it happened to both of us. So I know we both have experienced this. You're chopping down a tree and it falls the wrong fucking way, and boom, it lands on you. Shit,
there you go.
Timber.
Now, the lighter side of it falling on you is that you get a concussion, and then that concussion will give you a debuff. Now, let's say that debuff turns into a situation where your stamina is cut in half, or likely 75%. Your movement speed is slowed. And guess what? A bear comes up on you. And if you don't know how to fight that bear, that's it.
Even if you do know how to fight that bear, if your stamina is cut by 75%, you're done, son.
Exactly. So all of these things you have to be very aware of, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I want to stress this again. Icarus is beautiful, but it is dangerous.
With one exception, one huge asterisk. The video that you're seeing above on your screen, that was done in private mode. Private mode is builder mode. It puts you on your own private little plot of land. You got 3 choices right now. You can be in a winter wonderland, you can be in a river land that's mostly land, or you can be in a river land that's a huge lake that's full of little islands. In that mode, which is like safe mode, Almost nothing will kill you. You can build to your heart's content. You can make an amazing mansion, mega mansion like that. That's just crazy fucking. If you want to go full on builder and not be bothered, go into that mode. But what Fist is saying is 100% correct. You'll never see somebody build a mode like that in a mission. In a mission, you get little 1x1s or 2x2 squares of stone because you need to make it quick and dirty, accomplish your objective, and get the hell out before the planet murders you.
Exactly. And that mission timer will murder you as well. So understand, like I said again, if you guys like that hardcore mode, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a part where, if you died, you can respawn, but you will lose whatever experience that you've been working on for that level.
And you got to go back and loot your body or you lose all your shit. Right,
exactly. So I'm going to just real quick. It was a mission that me and my father did one time. We got caught out there. It was all the way in a snow biome. Our base was way on the other side of the map. We died, and guess what? We had to travel from one end to the map all the way to the other end of the map and traverse just with our environment suit on.
Oof.
Just to go back to go get our stuff.
Oof. That's rough.
Exactly. So yes, it is. It can get serious in that game.
Yeah, and they have like I said before, they have a lot of different missions. There's a huge cave worm in the desert. It's now what they did. Now it used to just only show up if you did the mission. Now what happens? You can just be in a desert doing a mission, and it can show up.
The first time I saw him was that the three of us were running across the desert. Had nothing to do with the sandworm mission. It was just we were running from point A to point B, and all of a sudden sandworm came up, and the two of you were like, "Holy shit!" And then you were like, "Wait, where'd Kai go?" And I was already half a zone away. I was like, "Nope, fuck this. I'm out. I'm out.
It's time to run."
And guess what? The sandworm is not even the worst one in the game so far that I've experienced. Big scorpion? We have a big scorpion that you have to go against, and you have to fight them, and you have to kill them.
Now, to be clear, the regular scorpions in this game are about the size of you. They're about the size of your character. They are way lower to the ground. They only come up to about your knees or your waist, but they're like, scorpion. Like, imagine a scorpion. Like, imagine you stand up, you're whatever, 7 foot, 6'7", whatever, 6'5", 6'2", whatever tall you are, and then you look at a scorpion that comes up to your waist high. That's a big fucking problem. That's bigger than a large dog. That's a problem. But the big scorpion, that's the little scorpions. The big scorpion is the size of, like, bigger than your car. Imagine a scorpion bigger than your car. Fuck that. I am not going there. Nope.
This is world boss territory. So, basically, when we fought him, it was just me and my pops. We had to prepare for these battles. You have to prepare. It's just not a pick up and go. And everything. Because like a scorpion, you've got to get to guns, and that takes time to get to.
So let's sidetrack this just a moment and explain that better for people who have no concept of what you're talking about. So basically, when you have a mission, and that mission could be go mine a rock, or it could be go kill a big ass scorpion. It drops you on the planet mostly naked. You have 15 slots of gear, workshop gear, that you can bring down with you.
Right.
But the rest of it, you're naked. You have nothing. So it drops you down, and when it drops you at your dropship, the very first thing you start doing is picking up bushes and chopping down trees and breaking rocks because you need raw materials. And you use those to build a little teeny shelter. And in that shelter, you build a crafting bench. And that crafting bench allows you to unlock to build other benches. And those other benches allow you to unlock to build other benches. And those other benches allowed you to build better tools, better benches, etc., etc., etc. So you can start off with the mission of just go here and kill a scorpion. But basically, if you go from the beginning, you gonna die. The what you got to do is find a little cave, build a little shelter inside of it, build a crafting bench. From the crafting bench, build a stone masonry bench. From the stone masonry bench, build a little anvil. Using the anvil, you make nails. Now you can build a higher bench. From the higher bench, you can build a machining bench. From the machining bench, you can build a fabricator. From the fabricator, you can build this, that, and the other. And you're getting, a refrigerator so you can put food in there so it doesn't spoil. You're building an oxidizer so you can make oxygen to refill your air tanks. You're building a reservoir rain collector so you can collect water and filter it and turn it into stuff. And you're upgrading until eventually you're 10, 12 benches down the line, and now you're building a bench that allows you to make a high-powered rifle and really good ammunition. And now that you've built the benches that make you better armor, better weapons, better tools, better this, better that, better whatever, now you're ready to go and face the worm. Like, it's that. You're completely free to accomplish a task however you want, but do not go in underprepared. You have to build your way up to be survivable.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
This game is all about preparation.
You have to fight them with guns, and you have to build your way up to the bench that allows you to craft a gun. In the game, there's a hunting rifle, there's a shotgun, there's pistol, which pistols for little tiny things that. Yeah.
So I have a question then with all this.
Sure, Tweak.
If you take a mission to go kill a scorpion, is that like an end game mission?
So yes, the way that the missions
because
work,
you listed off a whole lot of tasks you got to do before you can go kill this scorpion. So does that make it like a very long play time?
So, sort of yes, in the sense that the missions that you start with, when you can't get that mission when you first start the game. When you first start the game, you have missions like build a hut, go to a river and collect some stuff. Like you have little baby, like the baby pool missions. Later down the line, you have to do several things to unlock those very big, complicated missions, like kill the alpha wolf, kill the Shai-Halub, kill the big scorpion, go collect with a mining extractor. Like when you first start, you got to work your way to that. It's literally gives you like little missions that start in the starter zone. You can't.
It guides you.
Yeah, I think what you're asking is, can we accidentally start off on a bad way and be fucked? No, you have to build your way to the crazy hard shit. Is that what you were asking, or am I misunderstanding?
Kinda. It sounded like a lot of to me. Now I preface, I don't love survival games and I don't love building games.
Okay.
So this game is not like my cup of tea, so to speak.
No worries.
But all of those tasks that you laid off that we have to, that sounded like work to me. That sounded like I clock in and go to work kind of work. I mean, I grinded in Elite, sure, but that was an end game of having bigger, faster, better spaceships. Oh yeah, and this is an end game to.
Based on what you just said, I don't think this game is for you. But there's some people that will love it.
Right. Don't get me wrong.
Actually,
I'm not trying to.
Let me say how we found out about the game was through Griff. Griff loves survival games. Also, as many Griff's into many genres of games, and the purpose of this game is to collect exotics. And exotics allow you to buy better gear, and they're continuously coming out with better gear. We just got a much higher bow. Now, next week they are supposed to be adding alteration, the ability to alter your bows to add different stats to it. So the game is built around drop down, build up to get exotics, to get better gear, so that you're ready for battle, better get paid. But there is open world mode to this game. It's still dangerous. Still got the storms. You still got the bears right now to deal with, and but you can go and you can farm the exotics. is the purpose in that open world mode. Also, there is a mode which you can do in that open world, which Kai named Wolf Apocalypse. There's geysers in the game, and the geysers will also give you exotics. But there is a ton of wolves that attack you, swarms. What do you call it when you have those kind of
Horde mode.
Horde mode.
Horde
Yeah.
mode.
Yep.
Yeah, you have it's a horde mode in there, and it is tough. You not only get the regular wolves, which are sometimes really hard to kill, especially when they jump you, because that's what they do. That you're fighting one, and then 3 or 4 more come, and then you have a boar come up on you, which we nickname Murder Bacon. And, but then now, what happens in the horde mode is you get alpha wolves, which are about 10 times harder.
And they come in packs of regular wolves too.
Right. And they come along with the regular wolves. And so what they've done in the game is they've added different things, different modifications you can add. You can add an electrical shock to your knife now in the game, where you stab a wolf and it'll electrical shock him. You can buy electrical shock arrows. You can buy explosive arrows in the game, but that's what the exotics get you. You have to work your way up to it to stockpile enough exotics to get those things. It can be one more thing, is that in your personal biome, they now added a new mode, which I was explaining to Kai, where you can go now. It's not just a circular biome that you can have. You can actually go in and you are allowed to go through the entire Olympus map, which is huge.
It's crazy.
Right. And what you can do in there is set the level that you want, how dangerous you want that personal biome to be. If you want it to have full-blown bears attacking you, wolves attacking, the storms are, you can do that, or you can have it really mild, and not have to really worry about any really thing, but you can still die in them. But you just have to resurrect yourself. So, they do listen. But one thing I wanted my son to do is tell y'all about the backstory about Mo.
Oh man.
Well, I'll give a little bit because I want people to go. There's a video on if you look it up in Icarus, it's their lore video. I don't want to give too much away. Mo, she was a scientist, and I'm going to say this about her. Mo had a bug, and her bug was trying to find out about this planet that they've terraformed. Excuse me, this planet or moon that they've terraformed. And she just had a craving to find out so much that she got lost on her mission. She kept going down more than other prospects. And I don't want to give it away. They're not saying that she's dead, So I'm gonna leave it at that. To go into
she was listed. Let's say she was listed as missing, presumed dead. That don't mean dead.
Right. That doesn't mean dead. So, go watch the video. I'll let you guys see that for yourself. One thing about playing the game, as you drop down, you will notice in the video a gentleman named Saul. He's the Santa Claus looking character guy. Saul, as you listen to him narrate in the beginning of the missions, listen very carefully to him. He will tell you like it is. He's not going to hold your hand. He's gonna tell you how dangerous Icarus is, and he is right. And he also gives you some background to, what's been going on in Icarus and how things were. So I'll leave that up to you guys. If you guys get the game, I don't want to give everything away, but that's the premise of Icarus.
So I'm posting.
Besides the faction, right?
I'm posting right now in the live chat, and we'll have it in the show notes. That is the cinematic trailer for Icarus. That's what he's talking about. There's an 8-minute story trailer. We played it on this show like 6 months ago when we first covered this, where they talk about it's real actors that are acting like, hey, I was part of Mo's group, and I thought this, or I thought that, or I thought whatever. It's very cinematic. It's very in depth. It's the kind of trailer you don't see in games. I haven't seen in any games for years, and I absolutely love it. So, yeah.
Fantastic game if you like this. So definitely go check it out on Steam. Shout out to Kai. Join Black Sky Legion. Ping us. Want to hop in? We'll show you the ropes.
Hell yeah.
Let's get together.
If you join the Black Sky Legion Discord, and you go into choose your roles, and you choose to give yourself the role for Icarus, then you'll see the Icarus chat channels. You can ask to be joined into the group. We add you to the Icarus mining group so that we ping. If somebody's dropping in and say, hey, I'm doing a mission, you can join in and get paid. So, okay. I feel like we've covered the show really well. I want to cover two things I want to cover. The amount, one thing that I really love about this game is the freedoms. You can set your talents in a way that no other person does. Like, there's so many freedoms in the build and how you want to set your talents. There's so many freedoms in the workshop gear and what you choose to get and in what order that basically no two players are going to be the same. And I can get a certain set of gear and a certain set of talents that I drop with that will complement what Fist and Pops and Griff and Daytron and Bio have, such that each of us have our specialties and we can do things and we can work together as a team.
Right.
Go ahead.
There's the thing that I did forget to mention.
Mm-hmm.
You were there's different categories that you can spec into in the game, like you're saying. You can become a uber miner,
Mm-hmm.
where when you hit the rock, you get greater yield than other players. You can become a extremely stealthy hunter, a gatherer. You can become a cook in the game, where you supply everybody with food and things. So you can come down with, if you particular thing you have in mind, you can spec into that particular role in the game if you want.
Right on. So check it out. You can get the game for $30. There's an option that you can get like the backers version for like $100 or something. I wouldn't recommend that for anyone unless you're absolutely sure that you're all in. Like, if all of your friends are playing it, then okay, it's worth it because it gets like the next several expansions for free. It's like I don't know, whatever. But if you just want to buy in, you could buy in for $30 to get the base game. That's plenty good. You will get hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay out of it. And you will be... I give it my seal of approval. I got this game. I literally... Last week we didn't do a show because I had the flu. And I was in and out of the bathroom. Like, literally Friday night, I could be... Okay, I got to go to the bathroom for half an hour. I couldn't actually confirm that I'd be good for the show. But... the week before that, I bought this game. So literally, 2 weeks ago, I did not own this game. I'm level 50 on this game. I'm maximum level for like the maximum level of your talent trees. You can get up to 99, but you only get talents up to level 50. In under 2 weeks, I got to level 50. I maxed this game out. This game is fucking amazeballs. I've sold it to a dozen of the people in our group, in our channel. I told Daytron, you got to get it. Falafel, you got to get it. Bio, you got to get it. Sword, you got to get it. Like, I'm telling everybody, you got to get this game. Come and join us. And people are like, all right, I'm in, because they see how much I'm playing it nonstop. I've been addicted to this game. It's fucking amazeballs. So get the game.
Now, I want to also
go ahead.
Good. Now, I also want to tell you guys too. There is another map we've been covering Olympus. There was another map called Styx, which is 3 times larger than Olympus
and way harder
and more dangerous.
You haven't been there yet, Kai.
Woo! I'm not messing with it. I've seen some videos. I'm not going there just yet. I got to level up first. I got to get my gear right first.
Right.
Yeah, that one has alligators, gators,
Komodo dragons.
Right, Komodo dragon, and this one actually has birds in it, and they annoy the hell out of you.
Yep.
They will steal your food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crocodiles. They can one shot you. They'll death roll on you. There is like, I don't know if I'm saying this right. The Shalu, right? The
Shalu, the big old sandworm.
Right.
Yeah.
They have the sandworms over there. They have all of it over there. They even have, like you said, I don't know. We talked about polar bears, but they even have polar bear cubs. So you think about a whole bunch of wolves. Now you have polar bear cubs coming up on you and attacking you
in packs,
and it's brutal.
Yeah, and the polar bear cubs are faster than the adults are.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got shout out to Carbon Wolf in the chat talking about, okay, now I'm downloading it. Like, yes, get this game. Come to our Discord. Go to Choose Your Roles. Look for the Icarus thing. Choose that so you can see the Icarus room. Just say, hey, I just downloaded the game. Help me out. I will run missions. We will run missions. We will like power level you, getting you gear to start off with. This fucking game is worth it, man. And it's every week. It's a new mini patch. It's a new whatever. And every year it's a big patch, a new DLC, a big thing. But like this game, fucking get in on this. Just make sure no one lands a pod on my house. You were in chat yesterday when who was it? It was Falafel, I think, landed, and he literally landed. He joined us mid-mission, and it landed on the middle of Datron and Drops' house. They built a shelter, and his ship just landed and fried it.
On him.
Hilarious. All right, we got to get moving with the rest of the show, but...
and one more thing. You can get struck by lightning in the game.
It's happened to me. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks. So the Black Sky Legion group, we're getting balls deep into Icarus. It's joining our rotation of games that we play. The Soul Citizens group and the New Souls group, they've been playing this game. So like hop in, get with me in the chat, get with Pops, get with Fist, get with Griff. We'll get you sorted and get you going. All right, I want to real quick introduce Wolf Dragon. He was out for a special dinner date with the wife, but he's joined us. I didn't want to interrupt the Icarus segment for it, but I want to welcome you to the chat. Welcome to the show, Wolf.
Hey everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to know that the show's going on good and well, because I was sitting at the sushi bar and I get a frantic text message from Kai saying that Streamlabs didn't want to work. So it's like, oh, well, that's great. I can do precisely fuck all to help that right now.
Yeah, we had to do a little tech support and get it going. All right, so next up we've got books, The Black Cloud. So The Black Cloud was written by Sir Fred Hoyle in 1957. Fred Hoyle was one of the most important astrophysicists and cosmologists of history. He was a fellow at Trinity College and a professor at Cambridge. He established the Institute for Theoretical Astronomy in Cambridge. He's one of the most outspoken contributors to the formation of steady-state theory, quasi-steady-state theory, panspermia, interstellar molecular clouds, astrosynthesis, and astrobiology. You can tell I've been drinking. I'm starting to slur. He was robbed of a Nobel Prize by being too far ahead of his time. He proposed nuclear synthesis long before the now accepted theory gained vogue. He wrote a rejected paper theorizing the existence of interstellar molecular clouds consisting of molecules other than hydrogen. Now, he's basically the guy that created or conceived or first put forth the idea that all of the molecules in the galaxy are created in stars. Like, you know, the famous saying from Carl Sagan, "We are stardust." Like, that's a thing that's widely accepted by all scientists now. But at the time when he put it forth, he was too far ahead of his time, and it was rejected. They were like, "No, man, that's not how it works. Stars don't make atoms of material that then propagate throughout the universe to make the building blocks of everything. You're silly." And he was right. So when he first proposed in the 1950s a paper talking about interstellar molecular clouds of anything other than hydrogen, and it was rejected, he said, "Well, fuck you," and he wrote a book called The Black Cloud. As a scientist, it's really interesting because you'll see so many books in sci-fi, and it's writers who are coming up with their concept of what would be a cool alien story, what would be a cool first contact story, what would be a cool whatever story. This guy was a hardcore scientist, and everything that he wrote in this book, and for the record, I read the book within the last week, and I just absolutely love it. It is so brilliant in how he talks about all kinds of things of what would be the idea of first contact, what would be the idea of encountering an alien sentience, what would be the idea of encountering something that's, you know, it's not the Star Trek or Star Wars version of like, it's basically a human guy, but with a little fucking weird forehead or pointy ears. Like, no, this is, imagine dealing with something that's so alien that it's like it's a cloud of interstellar gas that's achieved sentience, or it's instead of a carbon-based life form, it's a ammonia-based life form, or it's a silicon-based life form, something that just doesn't fit what your conceptual boundaries of an alien is. When we think of aliens, we think of a little green man, or we think of this or that. Like, imagine something so different that you can't conceive of it until it's right in front of you and 100% obvious that it's like, oh shit, that's different. I loved this book. I read sci-fi books on a weekly basis. I'm constantly going through stuff. I'm starting on Hyperion now. It's a thing that is a part of my life. And this one was different in, number one, each step of the way, everything that's in this book is backed by science. They're like, okay, there's a thing heading towards our planet. How would we track it? How would we estimate the size of it? How would we estimate the speed of it? How would we estimate the trajectory of it? How would we deal with the fact that we're seeing changes in size or speed or trajectory? How would we deal with a situation very similar to Project Andromeda, or Project Hail Mary, rather, where Andy Weir deals with a first contact, and deals with first contact with sentience, and deals with the propensity for, or the possibility of, an extrasolar entity on purpose or by accident putting the Earth in a precarious situation of, what if the light from the sun goes away? Shit, we're fucked. Everything on this planet dies. Like, this guy, the real scientist, the writer of this book, Fred Hoyle, is the father of astrobiology. He put forth the premise that stars create molecules and atoms that are the building blocks of life before anyone else did. And when he put it forth, he was ridiculed for it. And he wrote this book that dealt with a what if, and it wasn't until over a decade, multiple decades later, that science caught up to his idea, and now it is not only widely accepted, but it is a central sort of tenet of cosmology and astrophysics that, of course, stars create the atoms that are the building block of life. And of course, there are interstellar molecular clouds of all various materials that are moving back and forth and doing, like, that's what nebula are. So, yeah. I'm going to include a link to the wiki of The Black Cloud, the book that this guy wrote. I'm going to include a link to a book review by Dread and Red, who talks about how amazing this book is. And I'm going to include a link to Isser Pune, Sir Fred Hoyle, A Man Ahead of His Time. This interview is conducted with multiple preeminent astrophysicists and scientists of cosmology who basically, to a man, all go through and say, yeah, this guy's problem was that he was too fucking brilliant, and the shit that he was saying, everybody was like, that's not the case. And then 30 years later, it's like, oh, that's totally the case. So, yeah. All right. I'm posting a link. Chad posted a link in the chat from when we were talking about Icarus. There's a thing on NVIDIA DLSS and ray tracing driver for the game. So I'm going to post that real quick here in the chat as well for anybody. Guys, your thoughts on the Black Cloud, the book as a whatever. Do you have anything you want to add in on it, or any thoughts?
Sounds very cool. I'd never heard of it until you brought it up, though.
Okay.
Same here.
I never heard of the book, but I did actually explain stellar synthesis of the heavier atoms to a coworker the other day, and they just looked at me like I was speaking utter nonsense until they started like reading into it.
Okay.
So it's neat that someone was that far ahead of their time. I didn't realize the story behind it, but yeah, it's something we take for granted today. Like we are absolutely stardust.
Hell yeah.
The only thing I can say is that we have this running joke. I'm a gamer, and we gamers, we don't read.
Right on. I got you. All right. So, is there any other good books? I want to make sure that we include the entire panel. Any other good books that anybody's been reading, sci-fi lately, or hard sci-fi, science, or hard whatever, anything?
I just finished up a trilogy of books that is basically replacing Firefly. The crew is essentially the crew from Firefly.
Okay.
In all the good ways. The first book was called Tyche's Flight, I believe it was. Tyches.
Put me on a ship with Inari and Kaylee, and I could die a happy man.
Yep. I mean, everything about it, the way their mannerisms, the story. It was a solid story all the way through. No hard science, of course, but in the very Star Warsy, Firefly-y way.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good, fun space adventures and things to do. So it was a great trilogy. I just stumbled upon it. Had never heard of it before.
Good deal. So for the record, in the book, The Black Cloud that I talked about, they're literally, when he talks about a thing, they have like a little hyperlink in the Kindle version of the book, and then it literally goes through. That'll be like 2 pages or 3 pages where they break down the math, the formula for how, and like that's unique. You never see that anywhere in books where they're like, here's the math on how you would calculate the speed and trajectory of an object relative to your solar system. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, cool. And then I ended up Googling shit and like looking through, and then I went till my brain hurt, and then I stopped. But like, I tried on every last one of them, and on a third of them, I actually understood it. I followed along. So yeah. All right. Tyche's Flight and the Black Cloud. Check them out. That takes us to No Mainski. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn this over to Shadow, and I'm going to pull up the picture-in-picture, screen 1. All right, so first off, we've got Endurance patch update 3.99 that dropped on August 15th. Take it away, Shadow.
Yep, on Monday we had a mainline update to Endurance, and this included lots of bug fixes and fixes for visual glitches, but also added quite a bit of new content for creators. The highlights are a new version of the stairs, which are glass, as well as internal walls, and the expansion. The industrial expansion room has also had a floor rework, so now has a unique floor, but they've kept the old versions of the expansion of the industrial expansion rooms as well, so you now have a choice of floors that you can use.
Right on.
They made a change to the storage containers, and this is a long requested quality of life update. Now the storage containers actually show the number of the container on top of the hologram, so you don't actually have to access them to know which storage container it is. It is actually visually displayed in game, which is really handy and really good idea. And they've also made some changes to the underwater parts. What they've done is they're going to enable you to now build them on ground, so not underwater. So if you ever wanted to build one of those really nice glass cylindrical tubes that you can build in the sea, you can now build them on land as well, which is really nice.
Very cool. And then
they've also done another fix for the dream aerial. They found another problem where in a rare case people weren't getting the dream aerial, so they've also fixed that.
And they also dropped on August 19th Endurance Patch 3.99.1, which was like a dot patch off of that.
Yep, that is a hot fix, which contained just 3 fixes. It was to do with a crash to do with the NPC navigation, and they've also fixed the frigate fuel bonus not working, and most importantly, they've fixed a disconnection issue for people using Nexus missions. So hopefully, if you do a Nexus mission now, you won't get randomly disconnected.
Good deal. Good deal. Good shit.
Yep, 2 new patches from HG. They keep just cranking them out. Great work.
Right on. Right on. And in addition to that, we have just a reminder to you that you have 4 weeks left to do the expedition. It's going to end on September 21st, so 4 weeks, get out there and get it done. I've been sidetracked with Icarus hardcore, but within the next week, I'm going to start in on this Nomansky expedition and do it. I never miss them. I always get them. Sometimes I get them late, but I always get them. So that takes us to Elite Dangerous talk. I know we haven't been covering Elite Dangerous for a couple of weeks, well, for a couple of months, but some stuff actually happened in Elite, questionably, arguably, depending on how you look at it. It could be that this is teasing leading to amazing shit to come. It could be that this was just a 2.5 minute video, in-game video, animated Galnet article. I don't know. I'm going to turn this over first to Wolf and Tweaked to get us started, and then I want just the two of you guys to spend a minute or two back and forthing the ideas of this as people that are actively playing Elite, and then we'll open it up to the entire panel to sort of add in their 2 cents on the subject. So why don't, between the two of you guys, figure it out. Wolf and Elite, take it away, or Wolf and Tweaked, take it away.
I'll let Tweak go first because I think he actually spent some time actually doing stuff in HAP 22460.
I certainly did. I think that this was actually a brilliant move by FDev, and we haven't said that in a long, long time. The storyline that has been going on for the last, 2 years was pretty interesting on and off, and there was no way for this event to happen where all of us that log on at different times of the day and night would be able to witness it. So by creating the cutscene that tells the story, I thought it was brilliant. Now, the actual did they do anything? I think that depends on one key feature. Did you fly to that system the day before and leave off there? Because if you woke up in that system after watching that video, It was powerful. I had never experienced anything like this in Elite Dangerous. After the video ended, it put me in my DBX in dead space where I had left myself in the system, waiting for this to happen, and I had no power. And that's the only time I can remember being in Elite where I have 0 power in my ship. So as I'm rebooting my ship and getting my controls back, I notice all my screens flickering. And as I register that, all of a sudden I've got Thargoids on my ass. And they were vicious, unlike I have ever seen them before. That was a harrowing experience if you started in that system. I think for everybody that watched the video and then logged in a system somewhere else in the bubble, it was okay, that was a cool video. But what else? After I got away from a couple of the Thargoids, what I really liked was I flew to that planet and you could see the mark left on the planet that the weapon in the video made. And it's very, I mean, as Elite does with their graphics and their sound, it was done very well. It looks great. The logs, the audio logs, there's a ton of audio logs to recover in that system, but it is such a challenge to get them because anytime you are in dead space, you have maybe 2 minutes before the bugs show up and they are devastatingly violent towards you. So if you woke up in that system, I think it was great. It was an experience that was exciting and unlike anything we've ever seen before.
So I didn't wake up in the system. I actually went there beforehand, looked around, saw what I could see, blah, blah, blah. It happened. I was at work. I was like, all right, let's get off this fleet carrier that I stayed on overnight and fly into the system. And I actually flew in with my, it's almost meta AX crate. And as soon as I got there, you insert at the star from the hyperspace jump, and all my screens are just freaking out. And I can't remember the exact message, but it was something like the atmosphere isn't good, and all of my Guardian modules immediately started taking damage. And it was maybe a minute later that my AX crate that I have taken out to many a bug hunting run out in the Pleiades and whatnot was rendered fairly useless. I mean, beyond combat ineffective. I was only able to jump a short range. It was rough. It's like, okay, well, let's go looky-loo, because it doesn't appear that just flying around in Super Cruise that I'm that bad off. And like Tweak said, you can see where the Proteus wave went off at the site on the planet. And it looks weird and neat and awesome, and it is just it's a new thing we've never seen, and props to them for it.
And Super Cruise,
like,
whoa, what's that? Let's go look at that.
So let me ask you a question.
It is noticeable.
Let me ask you a question, because that one system is 0.00001% of the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't go into that one system, is there anything that changed?
There is one thing that changed.
What's that?
So, you remember the Thargoid map rooms? So with the Thargoid machine?
Yep.
So if you feed the machine the right things, it gives you the map. If you feed it the wrong thing, the machine gets pissed off.
If you feed it Guardian, anything Guardian tech, it starts to explode, yeah?
If you feed it a Guardian relic, it will turn it into something that we don't know what it is. It's actually unknown relic.
A hybrid Guardian Thargoid relic.
That's what it looks like. Because it started as a Guardian thing, and now it looks very much Thargoidy. It's not corrosive, so that's a good thing.
And
but
based
Palin and Ramta want them, and they pay handsomely for those little bastards.
So here's basically what I'm getting as the gist from this. Other than that one system, nothing in the game changed except for they're setting up the precursors of what obviously is going to be another tech grind. It's going to be grind shit for Palin and Ramtah and unlock a new version of Guardian Relics or whatever.
But that's okay if there's new mystery in the game and new things.
Hold on. If that starts within a month or two, I feel like, okay, that's cool. That was a thing that led somewhere and whatever. If the idea is that's going to hold you over for another year plus,
no, can
that's
I answer
a big,
you on this?
No.
They've already addressed this.
Okay.
In their live stream, they did a really good live stream with a bunch of developers and people on there talking about everything.
Okay.
And they stated that they are holding off moving this part of the story, the aftermath, forward until the 4.0 migration happens and the console transfer, early September.
So about a month. So like less than a month, really. Early September is 2-3 weeks.
Right.
That's
right.
not bad.
If that stuff goes off as planned, and then they start moving the aftermath story forward, and I think the Thargoids are going to attack. I think they're coming towards the bubble because they fried all the Guardian weapons. They learned from all the times a Proteus wave got shot off in practice. They adjusted, and now they're changing things. If they can do that in all of our systems, and they ruin our Guardian weapons, then it's going to take a lot more ships together with regular weapons to fight these things until the engineers come up with something new for us. And I'm fine with that. If it's a grind to get a new weapon fight the Thargoids that are burning my bubble, I'm cool with that.
That's gameplay. If that happens, as you say, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's gameplay. I'm okay with that. If it's like, hold on for 6 months to a year and then we're going to give you a thing, that's not cool. So basically, what's happened in game thus far, other than one system, is just a 2-minute video. Basically an animated Galnet article. So that is unimpressive as fuck. But if that is the story lead-in to actual gameplay loops happening in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as you state, I think good on you, FDev. Good salute. I give you a salute. That's good. That's cool. I'm excited. That could be neat.
They've certainly done the right job in laying the groundwork. They've said that we're delaying for this. Now, once those things happen, that clock is ticking.
Right, then something has to happen.
So here's
something
the deal.
Has to happen. Like stringing everybody along for 6, 8, 9, 12, 18 months.
Not good.
No.
All right.
No, not good at all.
So I commit right now on this show. We haven't been covering Elite, but we did this week because it was something different. I commit that mid-September, this time next month, which is past the time frame that they gave. They said early September. Mid-September, this time next month, we will talk about Elite again and say, hey man, they did it. They made good, or hey, they didn't. And we'll talk about it. Seem fair to you Elite lovers and players out there?
Yeah,
seems fair to me.
I mean, this was a pretty big update. This was an experience. It's been a long time since I've been able to say I had a new experience in Elite Dangerous.
Fair.
And this experience was absolutely unlike anything else that I've ever experienced before.
Beautiful. All right, let's move on to Star Citizen. We got to wrap up the night because we're going overtime. We're in golden hours. Okay, let's start with the Ship Showdown trailer. Let's get it on. Whoops, that's the wrong menu. OBS. Do this. It's ship showdown time. All of them ground vehicles are going to be involved. PTV is going to be the big meme ship for this year. We're going to have some fun. All right. We're going to get to that in just a moment here with Chad. But first, I'm going to throw it over to ELIX. Let me bring up the right... hold on a second. Let me bring up the right video asset. ELIX. We got Roadmap Roundup, August 17th, 2022. Take it away.
Sure. Just while I'm doing that, just to let you know, we didn't actually see the. Oh no, it's firing off now. Sorry, I've just got some kind of delay. My bad. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Anyway, Roadmap Roundup stuff. So there's been a few changes there. They added to the roadmap stuff for, I guess it's supposed to be in 3.19. Updates to Arena Commander's race mode, because that stuff hasn't been touched for basically since they built it. They're going to be adding the snake pit. There's a new weapon. AI is going to be able to perceive and detect vehicles from the ground. So you'll have like ships that can actually see it. Ground-based targets, they can react to that stuff. Aerodynamic control surfaces used to be on the roadmap. It got pulled out because they were shuffling things around, and that's back on. So if you've got control surfaces, it's actually going to help you while you're flying. The other thing is the Tumble Ranger has been temporarily removed, but from SCL today, which I'm getting ahead of things, but they mentioned that was being blocked by 2 technologies, so that's probably why that's happened. Anyway, yeah, nothing major got removed. Nothing like, oh, well, we can't do this, or we're going to have to shuffle this around for 9 months, so, work progresses.
Right on. So, with that, let's hand it over to Chad LOSAN, and let me bring up the ship showdown stuff.
All right. Just as a side note, I did wake up in that system in Elite, but I can talk about that later. Ship showdown. So this year they're taking submissions for your favorite ship, whether it be a drawing, a screenshot, you make it out of Legos, make it out of clay, you do a video of it, whatever. Submit it to Spectrum. There are links for all this, and then the top submissions will then be put into the ship showdown ladder. You have until August 29th to do this. And then from the 31st to September 15th, they will do the voting. Like I think every 2 days, they're going to do the voting, and then it'll be like a tree, like a basketball tree structure. It's down to the 2, and the winner will be crowned, and so on. On September 8th, in the middle of all this, will be a free fly. The free fly is a general free fly, so if you don't have Star Citizen, you can play it for free. The bonus is, at that time, on the 8th, the top 8 ships will be known. And those top 8 ships will then become free for people who are currently playing the game, or those who just joined.
The correct terminology, so you've got the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and the Final 4. So you're talking about the Elite 8, the top 8 ships in the ladder will be free flyable for all people, whether or not you even own the game.
Correct. So, and it didn't say how long the free fly will last.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's a week or 2. And then on September 15th, the winner will be crowned, and they'll probably do ship skins for the top 4 and all the usual stuff as well.
Right.
So they're merging like a free fly and the ship showdown together. I think that's pretty cool that they have 8 ships you'll be able to fly that are in the Elite 8, as you say, for anyone who wants to try them out.
Hell yeah. Super excited. Super excited. Next up, we've got, let's see here. Next up, we have, close that out. So you have 9 days, 13 hours, 45 minutes, and 57 seconds, counting, to get your votes in. So go and vote for the Ship Showdown. Next up, we have today's SCL. Today's SCL was Jared and John Crew and Ben, I forget his last name, but it was Jared, John, and Ben, and they were talking about Star Citizen Live, all vehicles Q&A. As always, you can watch the hour-long video, or you can watch the minute and 50 seconds long Noobifier breakdown of what it was. The video was great. It was interesting things that were discussed. They talked about capital ships and various reworks that are going to be necessary on various capital ships before they come into the game. They talked about various aspects of this ship or that ship, you know, like, what about the remake of the pass on the 600 that's coming? What about this? What about that? They got into it. Good stuff. I'm super excited. Yes, I see in the chat on the previous topic of the ship showdown, it's going to be the meme ship this year is the PTV, the Grey Cat PTV. After the go-kart racing that was introduced in last week's ISC, the PTV is the meme ship to beat, in my opinion. We shall see how it plays out, but super, super exciting. Guys, Star Citizen Live, who watched it? Who has what kind of thoughts on it?
I watched it. From them talking, I can see a Caterpillar, gold standard coming up.
They talked about the fact that the side doors on the Caterpillar are going to get a gold standard rework eventually, where you're going to see them elevate. So it's not just going to be open and closed. It's going to be open and what is the term for when you go down? Escalate, I guess. Go down, and then like so that you can load shit, and then elevate and close so that you can bring it in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see doing the rework on that.
They talked about that. They talked about that one ship is going to need. Yeah, landing gear is going to be independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said something about that tech isn't in the game yet, or. They would have done it differently. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They talked about the fact that a lot of the big ships, they were like, when are we gonna get, like, there was one part that was hilarious where chat was basically like, Icarus has been done for 2 years. We know you guys are just stalling, and both Ben and John laughed and they were like, oh yeah, you think so? That's nice. That's cute. Like, no. In order for big ships to work, you're gonna need multiple things. Number one, massive reworks pass on what the big ships are to like finish them, and number two, obviously a much more robust infrastructure on the server architecture side to make it worthwhile, to make it like, if you have big ships, if you have a carrier, if you have a Bengal out there, if you have a Drake out there, you're going to need a player to be the air traffic control to bring them in. You're going to need various aspects and loops and stuff to be filled out on how you assign duties of people or blades or whatever. There's a lot that still needs to be done before big ships, like big ships, Idrises, Bengals, what's the big hospital ship, the big science ship, before those ships make
the
it.
Apollo.
The Apollo, the Drake, the this one, that one, before those make it in.
I own it. Endeavor? No.
The Endeavor, yes. The hospital, yeah. And the science, yeah.
Yeah, but I see the first step to, before the big ships came in, was they had to up the player count. Because it doesn't make sense. It's like what it was before. If you had a steel and you load, with 50 player, how many? I think
35 players in a steel. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got 2/3 of the server in one ship.
Or if you bring 2 steels or 3 steels, you have the whole server to yourself.
Server. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So they had to up the count before they bring in my Banu Merchantman. Yeah. Okay.
Your Banu Merchantman? Are you sure that's not Fast Cart's Banu Merchantman?
Well, he's got one. I have one. So we're gonna, he flies on Monday. I fly on Tuesday. And
fair.
Yeah, we'll do it like that.
Okay. Anybody else want to hop in on your thoughts on SCL?
Yeah, they said the landing assist UI is something they want to bring back, which is good because right now you're landing blind. It's it's done well in other games, and we knew that was eventually was going to be done.
Oh, sure.
The whole sea is near release, so that's a big thing. I mean, the SRV is soon. They talked about the 400i and its broken doors. They know it's a problem. Let's see. They're going to work on the ship naming system, which is only 5 ships currently you can name, but there'll be a lot more in the future.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, the Caterpillar, our resource management, including modularity, are coming soon. TM. So it's something that they'll introduce sooner than later, probably after the cargo refactor. Which would make sense to bring that after that's in place. No work on the Perseus. They're going to do a full pass on the Retaliator, which they've talked about in the past. The different airlocks, different interior, and stuff like that. And Crucible rework is also planned.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
No, it's really no surprise that the Crucible was going to have to be reworked, because as far as I can remember, when they introduced that one, they hadn't even gotten interior module metric sizes yet. So.
Yeah. Oh, and they wanted to update Legacy ships' interior and lighting as well, because a lot of these ships have been around forever.
Right on. All right, let's take it to ISC and let's close out the night. We'll do ISC, we'll do discussion topic, and then I can go play Icarus. Here we go.
The stand system has seen many changes since the persistent universe first came online. It's grown, expanded, been reshaped and reformed, and it continues to evolve with each successive patch. And while the upcoming Pyro system and our journey to 4.0 is a big focus for everyone around, it's important to keep an eye on the present and continue to iterate on and improve upon what's come before. And this week's show focuses on the work of the mission feature team in doing just that. Now up first, Space Station Correa, old stalwart of PvP in the Stanton system, is about to get a makeover both in looks and in restored purpose.
Back in its heyday, Correa used to be this big central hub for PvP.
Which has multiple entrances and exits and is just perfect for that kind of gameplay.
When we added the UGFs and added some of the security depots where you could go and hack away your crime stat, kind of took away from Correa's unique PvP draw.
And we've decided that we want to give players a taste of what a Correa used to be like.
Correa is a security outpost that was meant for Crusader security to kind of have as their base of operations. Unfortunately, it ended up not being fit for living and working there.
It's been abandoned by Crusader. The uses the player can have there is there's a few missions they can take there to kill, stragglers, nine-tails. They can go there to hack away their crime stat. There's some loot there as well, so players do go there to loot.
However, now, if you approach Correa, you're going to immediately notice Crusader has moved in at this point.
They're going to be using this facility as it was intended. And the way they're doing this, and we're doing this to hopefully entice PvP at this location, is we're firstly beefing up the exterior security of Correa.
You will be met with new online turrets that will not be too happy with you arriving.
It's now going to be even harder for people to approach and land. When you get there to land, you might find some enemies on the landing pad to thwart your infiltration of Correa. When you're inside Correa, there'll be Crusader security all around that you'll have to take out if you want to use that station. After killing a few of them, a security chief will spawn.
Now, if you take this guy down and you look around, he will have a security code on him.
You can take his datapad off, operate his terminal, and then start this contraband dispenser.
It's a device that goes into Correa's storage facility and pulls up contraband that was deposited by the law enforcement.
And the great thing about that is obviously we've got some highly valuable drugs in the game. We're making even more highly prohibited and expensive goods. as well as scrap. Just we'll throw some worthless rubbish in there, so it's an absolute gamble.
You'll still be able to wipe your crime stat there. That is always going to be wanted at Correa. But the new thing we've done is we've removed the UGF crime stats. You will no longer be able to go to a UGF to wipe it.
Obviously, that's going to focus criminals and like law enforcement, those who roleplay law enforcement, into that area. But we decided that still wasn't enough. We'd been looking for a way to give players their first ever kind of player-triggered mission.
When this location goes under attack, which is when a certain amount of the AI that are defending the location are killed, a broadcast will be put out to all bounty hunters, anyone who is a lawful player, to come to this location and remove the threat at that location. However, don't get greedy and pick up any of the contraband. You might just be marked as one of those bad players.
So I think players who've been with us for a while will be really excited to hear what we're doing with Correa.
This is going to pull everyone to this one location to have battles.
It's open, it's functional, and it's going to serve as a dangerous hotspot for both criminal and lawful players alike.
Restoring Correa to its former glory is just one of several steps being taken recently to provide improved opportunities for PvP combat in the persistent universe. And we're going to check in on its visual makeover as it progresses later this quarter. But now, let's turn our attention to prisons. Or maybe just one prison in particular. That home, too often a home for those who break Stanton's laws intentionally, or who just stare at an elevator the wrong way. Let's go back to the mission feature team and discuss the ways they're currently exploring to bring new ways of escaping Kleischer's all too familiar grasp.
So currently in prison there are 4 ways to get out. You can wait, you can mine, you can escape, and finally we added a mission where you can go and repair things for Kleischer and they'll give you merits for doing so. But we don't believe that's enough variety, so we're working on more ways to complete your sentence.
The prison caves in particular can feel like quite a lonely place. You know, they're very dark, very damp. The likelihood of running into players is not particularly high, especially because there's 3 different routes.
So straight out of the gate, the first thing we're investigating is NPC prisoners in the caves. Currently, the caves are pretty empty. The only person in there is Auralia, and we want to expand that to have these. You'll be able to hopefully kill them if you want to risk the crime, and they might have some things that might help reduce your sentence.
We also wanted to provide more sandbox opportunities for earning merits. So some of you have noticed there's stashes dotted around the tunnels.
They can contain items that you could have bought previously from the vending machine, and they can also find themselves contraband items like prison shivs. We're looking at ways to have a system where players can bring back contraband and other prison-wanted items and be rewarded for it.
We also want to investigate adding a reward for players taking out violent inmates. This will help clean the prison up and stop them from causing a ruckus, and it will also provide, the model prisoners more ways to legally and preferably pay off their crimes to society. And for those who don't want to serve their time, we're adding a new mission into the prisons.
All criminals caught end up in Kleischer, and there's lots of vital information to be recovered from there.
In a certain depth, in a certain cave, we're adding what is known as a black spot, where outside entities can contact you and ask you to do work inside of the prison.
In doing so, they will be rewarded very handsomely.
It's always great when we get to revisit locations and missions after getting player feedback. And this won't be the last of updates you'll find in the prison experience.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that folks with a fondness for the old days of Correa have something familiar to look forward to. That Kleischer may finally get some NPC population to better obscure the same familiar faces that I keep seeing in there week after week. You know who you are. And that even with a major focus pushing ahead, it's important we look back, iterate on what's come before, and continue to evolve all aspects of Star Citizen along the way. Now don't forget that Ship Showdown has begun, and it's your chance to advocate for the best of the best in Star Citizen ships and vehicles, for a chance to win exclusive paints and prestige, and for us to bet internally on how we think you'll vote. I was so close last year. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee, here in the Bonded Warehouse, our neighbors at the new Manchester Goods Yard, who were kind enough to let us in when the rain showed up. We'll see you all next week from who knows where.
Wow, was I muted? Okay. Well, that's this week's ISC. Let's go around the horn. I'll go last this time. Let you guys hop in with your observations first. What do you think, Chad?
Great all around. The Correa stuff it'll do a focal point for PvP players who want to do that. It'll be more sophisticated. They're taking all the things from Jump Town, from all the other events, Siege of Orison, and putting it together into a single location with NPCs outside and inside. The little thing that feeds you, contraband. Then you're looting the lieutenant guy, getting the code. All that's from other things, all put together into a single place.
I see them starting to use some of the stuff from Siege of Orison with the lieutenant guy has a code, yada yada, and integrating that into Correa is kind of like a mini siege that's always available to you.
Pretty much. The prison gameplay is a long time coming. Lots of new stuff, NPC missions, new items, new ways of spending your time in jail to make it more entertaining and interesting.
ELIX, what do you think about all this?
So I really like it. It's like Correa, as it was mentioned in the ISC. Correa used to be the PvP station.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was the PvP station. It was the place you could go to, and you wouldn't get in trouble. Basically, like you could just PvP it up, and nobody would complain because that's what that's for. Then it became pretty much useless and ignored, except for people wanting to hack their crime stat. And not wanting to go down to the planetary ones. So I really like that they're basically revamping it and making it relevant again. The fact that it's the only place that you can clear your crime stat is making some people complain. But I'm like, in the long run, it absolutely will not be the only place. But even during alpha, even like just in the stand system, I doubt that is going to be like a long-term permanent thing. It's a temporary thing to basically direct people into testing it rather than just saying, oh, well, I'm not even going to bother going to Correa. I'm going to go to, one of the ground locations instead.
There's definitely something to be said for that. There will be some players, some play testers. We got to keep that in mind. You're not a player of Star Citizen. You're a play tester. The game isn't out yet. There will be some play testers that are inconvenienced by the fact that now the place that they used to go to that was empty to clear their crime stat is not going to be empty. There's going to be people there doing missions and doing other things that are going to now be a hassle for them as wanting to clear their crime stat. That is a valid thing that we have to keep in mind. And I'm not saying that to shit on them. I'm saying that just as to things. It will be better for some and less good for others. And that's fair. That's reality. ELIX?
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I was saying is like taking it just as this is a change that's happening. This is great. It's temporarily inconvenient for some people,
for
sure,
some, not others, but some.
Yeah, for some people this is temporarily inconvenient, but it's not permanent. Like they broke trading for months, and then because of the trading kind of isn't even worth it now because they're working on building the quanta system in, so they're getting rid of the old placeholder stuff. But that means trading isn't worth very much.
I have
that kind of sucks for traders, but Go ahead.
I have a strong hope that trading will get good again in 3.18 when they start to bring that into it. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I mean, like that's gonna change, but things will change, and basically the idea is that SIG isn't just going, yeah, well, from now on you have to go to Correa, fuck you. It's we're asking you to test this now, so we're gonna shut the other places down in order to encourage you to use it.
I think a smart move. I think a smart move on CIG's part, and I don't work for CIG. I have no special insights. I don't claim to have any knowledge that any of you don't have. But I think that a smart move on CIG's part would be to do a little bit of extra work right now before they implement this on fixing some of the sloppy ways in which you can get an unintentional crime stat. You shoot a dude in the head to rob him. Oh, you're getting a crime stat and you deserve one. But certain aspects of you get stuck on geometry, now you're not vacating the area and you get basically a parking ticket crime stat, or various other aspects. There's some glitchy, buggy ways where you can get crime stats right now that are a hassle. And if you make it harder to clear your crime stat before you start to try to at least deal with some of those buggy ways where you can accidentally, unintentionally, through no fault of your own, obtain a crime stat, that, I think, adds a little bit extra pressure or discomfort to people that are unintentionally put out by a bad crime stat. Tweaked, what do you think about that?
I absolutely agree with that. If it'd be one thing if what you said, you commit the crime, you get a crime stat. If that was the only way to get a crime stat, that's fine. But you can get a crime stat for accidentally, you're in a bunker and a security guard runs in front of your line of fire. That's a problem when it's not your fault. Or as Jared said in that last video, if you stare at an elevator too long, or if you're sitting in space getting ready to jump into quantum and all of a sudden, just as you jump, you realize you were being scanned and didn't even know until the very last second. There are a lot of ways you get crime stats.
Now, it would be unfair of us right now to assume that they're not going to do some work to clean some of that up. So, what you're just saying, I think what you're saying, Tweaked, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is, okay, cool, you're adding missions and other things to Correa. Please do a little work also on cleaning up some of the glitchy ways that you can accidentally crime stat, so that this will be a better experience for a larger number of people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I never shy away from PvP. I am all for going to one place where it's going to be everybody fighting for themselves and with each other in ship and on foot, probably. That sounds like a good time to me. But I don't think it's fair to make it the only place when somebody that is a PvE player. There are some people that they don't just not like PvP, but they're actually afraid of it. They stay away from everything PvP. So that person gets a crime stat. They are now forced into PvP when that is not their style of game.
Okay. Both of our honored guests tonight, both Fist to Face and Pops in Space, are Star Citizen players. Why don't we start with Fist? What are your thoughts on this ISC?
To touch on a little bit of what you guys are saying, I think a lot of times first of all, we kind of forget that the game is an alpha. We are, like you said again, we are testers, and the game is in a lot of ways has so much polish to it that we can sometimes forget that. And when they take something away, we're like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? You know what I mean? And we don't realize, we're testing something. Now, obviously, they want to test something to see, whatever variables happen, during this testing phase, so the way that they funnel everybody to this thing, to this event, like you said again. But I think for me, as far as the Correa thing, I'm both PvE and PvP. So I'm cool with it because I would like to see how it will work. Because one of the things that I want to see is when it comes down to FPS, is it responsive? Am I going to get hit with a bullet 2 minutes later?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when people are concentrated in one area. And, and I want them to stress test that sort of way that they can get that data right. So way to when it does come time for it to become really game time, that way it'll be ironed out. But
Interesting.
I get it, but that's my 2 cents.
Right on. Before I hop to Pops, and we're going to hop to Pops for sure, because I need to hear your thoughts on this. Chad, you, I think, had a comment on what Fish just said, so please hop in.
The part about shooting a guard accidentally getting a crime set. They have talked about that specifically about a couple of months ago. That when the reputation system gets its next update, if you have a high reputation with, say, Microtech, you shoot a Microtech guard by accident, they're not going to shoot you dead right then and there. They'll just brush it off. Now, if you unload on someone, sure, you're going to get a crime stat, but accidentally being shot with 1 or 2 bullets isn't going to get you in trouble.
Okay.
So they're going to make this more nuanced over time, so that if you accidentally shoot someone, it's not going to be the end of your life at that moment.
Good to hear. Pops, your thoughts on this ISC?
Okay, well, I'm just going to briefly touch on Correa.
Sure.
Because everybody's point was great. Correa, this probably cannot happen at Correa, but other places when they come online, I would like to see crawl spaces. Where you can get in, crawl in, sneak in, and maybe sometimes the crawl spaces are not available to you, so to do a little bit of change up on that end. As far as going to prison, I'm really looking forward to seeing prison, gang fights. You go in there and get beat up and, robbed. You're in the infirmary to make it really difficult for those kind of players that just think it's, go in, spend about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or so on and so forth. I'll come out, ha, ha, ha. Make it really difficult, because if they go in, they get beat up and they get closer to, what's the, Death of a Spaceman.
Death of a Spaceman, yeah.
Right. I'd like to see that
not only
happen.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, please.
No. Yeah, I'd like to see them get closer to that type of fully flushing out the gangs and different things like that. Income coming in where I know we use cigarettes now, so I'll just say cigarettes and whatever they come up with in Star Citizen. You're smuggling in cigarettes and things like that. Maybe communication devices, because in jail you have to sneak in a cell phone. Different things like that. But I really want to see Klesha hard to get out.
I very much appreciate, so like the regular crowd, and I'm not disrespecting at all our regular panelists, because it's great, but I love both the input that you, Pops, and you, Fist, had on this as a different sort of input on it, and I definitely want to encourage you guys to come back on the show anytime you want. I agree with you 100%. The prison should be way more difficult in certain aspects, but also more viable, and there should be some special missions or quests that you can only get there. There should be some special rewards. I can envision a future post-launch where you have somebody that is a high level, like that runs the prison from the inside. A prisoner that runs a whole faction that controls the prison and controls some vital aspect of income generation or materials production or something in the game, where like you have these high level lifer prisoners that it's like, that's my game loop. I have 2 characters. My one guy is an industrialist that lives in the Terra system, and my other guy is a prison mob boss that lives in Klesher prison that runs shit. Like, I could see that being a viable thing. And I think to your point of making it harder, part of that, Pops, would be them looking at making it harder to obviate the penalty of your prison time by just logging off. Or as it stands now, you log off for 4 hours, you got a 4-hour sentence, you log back on, you're out of prison. Whereas if you were to say like, hey, that clock is only ticking when you're logged in, you now have to do something with that time. I think there's a thing to be said where some people would love that idea and some people would hate that idea. And I agree kind of to Tweak's earlier point. I don't think you want to implement that until you clean up some of the unintentional ways where you could get a crime stat. Right now, okay, the game glitched out. I got a 4-hour crime stat. I'm going to log out and go play Icarus. I'll come back in 4 hours. That's easier. Once you clear it up where that buggy bullshit doesn't happen and you only end up in prison if you deserve to be in prison, I think at that point it makes it much more viable for them to move the idea of your time does not tick down while you're logged out. You got to fucking serve your time.
Yeah, one of the things that happened with me and my son, we were in there. I got a crime stat. We went up to PO to get some guns and things like that, and we left. I got a shoplifting crime stat. You can't shoplift yet, but I got one. We were flying away. I'm like, how do I have a crime? And I look, it said shoplifting. I'm like, what? But okay, that part. But I do want to iterate this part about Klesher. We need to. Okay, Kai, if you got sentenced today, right, to prison, you would be. Well, let me say me. I'd be scared.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be scared. I'm like, oh hell no, what's gonna happen to me? We are not afraid to go to prison now. I hope they make it fearful in prison to go there. You know, gangs and things are waiting. You know, you come in there, they take your shoes, and you like walking around with no shoes on. You know, make people afraid of how it should be in prison. We should fear prison.
That's one of the reasons why I don't let loose with hands, because I'm definitely afraid of cracking the wrong guy in the head the wrong way, and then next thing you know, I got a roommate named Bubba who's making me his wife. Like, I do not want to go to jail for that exact reason.
Yeah, we should be afraid of prison. We should be afraid, not like, oh, it's just, you know, it's just spending time. Let me run down the hallway, you know, mine and come out. I hope, you know, I know they can't do it now, but I hope we fear going to prison. I really do.
Wolf, what do you think about all this and the ISC in general, or any part of what we've said in particular?
So, when the limited time that I've had, I have avoided catching crime stats as much as I can. Like, that's a cop coming around me. I immediately, like, space brakes, everything, stop, because I know it's not like an Elite where you can just keep flying along and they can keep scanning you, because it's not a connection that's, like, on a cable. It's wireless. Come on, move on. But, okay, this is the rules in this game. Got it. I like that adding game loops so that there are different ways that you can go about clearing your crime stat. That sounds great. I don't intend to use them, but at some point I'm sure it'll fucking happen. But Star Citizen has just an insane number of ships, and that's awesome. But the things to do with those ships seem to be a little lacking, and they've said before, and they're really showing it, that hey, we're going through, we're fleshing out the existing game loops, we're adding new ones, and it's giving the player more to do. And in my book, that is just fantastic, because we have all these different ships, all these different tools, and now we're getting more things that we can use them for, so that we can find, like, this is this one niche thing that this one ship does really well. Well, that's why I want to get that ship and build it this way. Well, if I want to go do this job, I'm going to jump in this ship that I've got that does that job really well. It's the same thing that I do in Elite. And I look forward to being able to do that in Star Citizen, because ultimately, to me, that's going to give me a much more richer experience with the game.
Very cool. All right, we've got. I'm gonna limit this to 10 minutes, and then we're the fuck out, because we're way over time. the discussion topic, last week's ISC, the subject, when they were talking about, oh, it's an all sprint report, all ship sprint report, the subject to me was like, meh. I don't get excited about ship development stuff. I get more interested in game loops and core gameplay aspects and development and whatever. And they were like, it's going to be an all ship sprint. And I was like, okay, that's not for me, but God bless, whatever. I hope somebody enjoys it. And then they snuck in a little bit in it where they were like, oh, look, here's some new UI shit. And my brain melted because I was like, oh, fuck. Now you got my attention. I'm in. I'm interested. So real quick, going around the horn, just anybody hop in one at a time, but 10 minutes and we're closing this show out. Hop in with your thoughts on this new UI stuff, because I am, like, I want more details, like, okay, when do we see this exactly? Because I'm excited, I'm interested. Is this just concept art, or is this real shit down the line? Because that UI shit and a new galaxy map are exactly the things that I most want from this game right now. Why don't we start with the... Okay, why don't we start with the guests real quick? Let Fist and Pops hop in. What do you guys think about that?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Beautiful.
Nice.
That's
Pops?
it. Beautiful.
I agree with everything you said, Kai. We really need it, and we out. I'm out.
Beautiful. Chad?
Well, so that is, yes, that's going to be real. One of the developers said, wait till you see this in the Moby Glass. We're talking about the map. The map system. So this is a lot of they wanted to do in-universe UI, and they've had concept videos and stuff in the past, but this is like their whole new rework for the cards system, so they can add stuff like no entry and the ship management and all this kind of cool stuff in universe that will be, so you're not just bringing up a gamey screen, you're actually manipulating stuff around you. So that should definitely be very interesting when they start putting it in the game.
Where do you see the trade-off between, there's form and there's function. So there's the one aspect of, oh, this just looks cool, which is worth it just because it looks cool, that's fine. But then there's also, okay, but this is actually like useful in game. Where do you see the trade-off between form and function there?
That's a tough balance, because the wraparound UI, if you're having to look back and forth, it gets kind of tedious. I mean, how do they make the balance of it looking super cool and being actually functional and not just pretty?
Okay. ELIX, because you're another Star Citizen researcher, and then I'm just going to open it up to anybody else who wants to hop in.
So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I hope that what is actually put in game is more or less exactly what they showed, because they showed concepts that were similar to that years ago.
Yep.
Like not a wraparound ring that just sits around you like the fucking Iron Man UI.
It was in the HUD of your helmet. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was in your HUD, but it was very similar. It just didn't wrap around you quite so much. But like, I know that they have been, like, the UI team, I'm sure they have been aching for years to do this, and they just couldn't because priorities didn't let them until they got building blocks online and they got the core systems like ship HUDs working. Now they're starting to expand outwards and deploy it to more things, and like, I think it's only just going to get better. We're just going to see more and more like this. And of course, it's incremental. It's going to be one thing at a time, but we're starting to get to the one thing at a time actually happening.
Anybody else that wants to hop in on this? I don't want to put anybody in the spot that's not into Star Citizen in general, but I want to give you the option.
I thought it was very immersive. My actual first reaction when I saw it was that this would be something that could be tweaked to make Star Citizen VR capable. That's my literal first reaction with what I saw it. This could be easily a step to VR.
That was my second. Yeah, that was my second reaction. My first reaction is, why the fuck is this guy jittering his camera so much in this video? But yeah, that was my second thought. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. And real quick, real quick, in 3 words or less, let's go around the horn. Everybody, if you can say no comment or you can say a time frame. Over under, when do you think we're actually going to see some of that new UI. Chad.
Middle of next year.
Wolf.
Yeah, mid next year.
Elix.
When it's ready. Don't know.
Fist.
I would have to say mid next year.
Yeah, I'm going to hop in on that and say late next year. But yeah, Pops.
6 months or more.
Okay. Shadow.
After SQ42 episode 1 is ready.
There you go. And Tweaked.
I'll be the only one to say I have no freaking idea, and I don't look that far ahead in this game usually.
Fair.
So
That's fair. What did you think of it? Did you see? You know what I'm talking about from last week?
Oh yeah, it looks great, and I hope. The star map alone would be worth it. You know that is a major thing that anybody that I play Star Citizen with has a complaint about. So,
all right. I want to go around the horn and give everybody a very brief opportunity to say goodnight. I want to start off by saying a huge thank you to Fist to Face and Pops in Space. I love you both, brothers. You guys have been so fucking cool in not only showing up to discuss all the stuff tonight with us, but also in just being so gracious and so kind in helping me out with Icarus, getting me started and power leveling me, and also just being two of the coolest fucking people that I know. So thank you so very, very much. Fist, say goodnight to the beautiful people and add any closing thoughts you have.
Everybody, thank you, Kai, for having me. And, as always, it's a pleasure, bro. Anytime. And good night.
Pops, close it out, brother.
Thank you for having us. It's fun, and looking forward to coming back again. And everybody have a great night.
Wolf Dragon, say goodnight to the beautiful people.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us, and as always, if you're not in the Discord, tinyurl.com/BSL Discord. Love to have you jump in with us, and if you see us in chat, jump in, play games with us. We're the same people that talk on the show.
Hell yeah. Do me a favor, Wolf, post the Discord link in the chat for all the people. Chad, say goodnight to the beautiful people. Closing thoughts.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming and listening to us blab for a few hours. All these things that we're covering are just getting more interesting and better all the time. It's never been a better time to be a fan of science fiction and space games.
Hell yeah, Elix, do it to it.
Hey, well, thanks for coming to the show, everybody, as usual. I just want to remind everyone, I'm not calling anyone out, nothing in the show, but I just want to remind everyone, regardless of what game it is, remember to treat developers with respect because they're just doing their job. Anyway, have a good one.
Absolutely. SHADOWWYVERN, do it to it, brother.
Good night, beautiful people. It was a great show. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
I'm going to remind everyone with my closing thoughts of the words of the immortal Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan. Be excellent to each other. And the honored spot of the final words of tonight's show go to my man, Tweak74. Do it, brother.
yeah, I want to echo everybody's thoughts. Thank you so much for spending a few hours on your Friday night with us. I mean, 3 hours now on your Friday night? We really appreciate you being here. Like Chad said, there's a ton of cool things happening in these amazing space games. It's just a great time to be a gamer.
And you're muted.
Muted?
Right
Everybody
on.
drink on the way out.
One last drink for everyone.
Right on. Yep. Nanu, motherfuckers. We're out.